in just a moment. There's a link to that in the chat. As a reminder, it'd be great if you go liked it now, because it helps the algorithm. All right. Should be good. Yes, maybe. Let's see. There it is. Meal prep for tent camping. Pasta, salad, banana bread, odds and ends, plus a weeknight dinner. Welcome in, YouTube. Good to have you. My name's Lou. This is a cooking stream. We're live right now. If you're not watching this on Monday, June 29th, then you are watching a recording. I'm very happy that you're watching the recording. You can join us live at any time if you subscribe to the channel. That'd be amazing. Hit the little bell button, and it will give you a notification when we do go live. Anyway, if you're watching on YouTube and you're not currently live, I will be chatting with the folks who are here live. The chat is down here, as you see. We can also, if you're on the vertical stream, the chat's going to be right here. Go ahead and turn off the chat replay on your YouTube channel, and it will just be right here. Anyway, as I said, my name's Lou. This is a food and drink stream in general, not just today. Our stream is all about cooking and conversations. Mostly vegetable forward family meals is what you'll find. If you are watching on YouTube and you want to check out some of the previous streams, they're all here. Just go ahead and look through the live tab and you will see those. Our community is generally very enthusiastic about culinary world, but also just chatty in general. Kind of weird, and we like it that way. Definitely a little bit spicy. We love a good innuendo. So if you're offended easily, sorry. Anyway, across all channels and all streaming platforms, follows are silent. So if you're a lurker, we love lurkers. Feel free to just hang out, catch the vibe. Say hi when you're ready. Happy to have you here. Today we are doing a bit of camping prep, as it says. We have a couple different meals going. On. So we're going camping 2 nights. So some breakfasts. For breakfast, we're doing eggs, sausage, egg, and cheese on a roll. There's nothing to prep for that. Everything's ready. The sausage will cook at the campsite. Eggs will cook at the campsite. We're doing banana bread muffins for day 2. Banana bread muffins we're going to make on stream today. This is my banana bread recipe. I'm waiting for the recipe to be delivered to me. It's on the printer upstairs. But this is a recipe that I wrote and I'm sort of working on. This is the first time I'm actually making the recipe as I've written it. The last time I made banana bread on stream was a couple weeks ago, and I sort of made the recipe up on the spot and wrote it down as I was making it. Today I'm making it from what I wrote down, plus a little like extra cleanup that I did on that. For lunch, we only need lunch one day, so we're doing just a pasta salad, something that can just be in the cooler. You can throw in a backpack, like whatever. Cold salads are great for camping. They're my favorite, either cold salads or sandwiches that don't need heating. But we're doing a pasta salad. It's going to have chicken, broccoli, carrots, some cheese. I was going to make like a pesto for it, but I think we're just going to do like an oil and maybe like a champagne vinegar type of dressing. I'm not sure, but it's going to be kind of light. I say that as if I planned it. I forgot to buy pesto at the grocery store, so I'm not using it today because we don't have it. For dinners, my friend Drew is handling dinner one night. I actually forget what he said he was going to make, but I don't really care because I trust him to handle it. And night 2, we're going to be doing 2 different types of pie iron sandwiches. A pie iron is basically like a mountain pie. It's basically like a grilled and pressed sandwich. You have like a metal cast iron thing that you put the sandwich in and you put it in the fire. So we're doing 2 different types of sandwiches. One is a Reuben. It's going to have corned beef and Swiss with sauerkraut, Thousand Island dressing on rye bread. Today what are we doing for the Reuben? Nothing for the Reuben. Everything is done. We're doing Reubens and Cubans. The Cubans are going to have ham and a pork tenderloin. So I'm going to roast the pork tenderloin today in the oven, cool that down, and then I'll slice that up and we'll have that. As well as Swiss cheese, stone ground mustard, pickles, and that's going to be on a soft challah bread. I meant to get like Cuban rolls. The bakery that I go to in Reading Terminal has these really delicious Cuban rolls. I got there at 9:30 this morning and they were sold out. The guy, I was talking to the guy at the bakery, and I was like, what happened to all your rolls? And he's like, somebody came in and bought all of them this morning. First thing, he was like, they were here at like 8 a.m. They bought every every Cuban roll that we had. And I was like, well, shit, can't compete with that. So I was like, let's do another soft bread. Challah seems fine. It's also, you know, whatever. It's not Cuban, but it's soft and similar texture. So we're gonna do that. So for that one, we're gonna slice the tenderloin, and then we're going to cut the breads because I have the loaves of bread. I have 2 challah loaves, 2 two challah loaves, 2 rye loaves. I'm probably going to cut 1 and 1 of each, and then freeze the other 2 because because I had a punch card that I needed 4 loaves of bread to get my free loaf of bread on, and so I bought 4 loaves of bread. Anyway, so we're going to slice the bread for that. We're going to roast some chicken for both dinner tonight and for the pasta salad. I'm going to make the pasta salad. I'm going to make the banana bread. So let's start with the stuff in the oven first. First thing we're going to do is the pork loin, because that cooks at the highest temperature of all those things. My oven's preheated to 400. So we're going to start with that. Then as I'm getting that ready, we're going to, or as that is heating at 400, we're going to get the chicken ready. We're going to spatchcock the chicken and put that in the oven. So all of that is going to cook in about an hour. While that's happening, I'm going to get my banana bread muffins together, so that once I pull the pork and the chicken out of the oven, I can put the muffins in, and then everything's done in the oven. So at that point, we'll be able to slice the pork, get the chicken finished and plucked off of the bones, and then we'll make the pasta salad. So that's the order of operations today. Thanks for hanging out. Welcome in. And again, if you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe to the channel. And if you're watching live, please hit the like button. It helps it get out to the algorithm so that more people come in and they're like, hey, who's this person talking on the internet? It's me. Anyway, that's all the notes I got. That's what we're doing today. Again, if you're watching on YouTube, chat is going to be down here. We're live on several different platforms, so take your pick. Same name everywhere. I'm going to say hi to the folks that said hi while I was busy running my mouth. Shart, welcome in. Happy Monday. Alley Cat, do I prefer chocolate chips in my banana bread? I do, in fact, prefer chocolate chips in there. The recipe that I'm using calls for chocolate chips. It also calls for dried blueberries and sweetened coconut flakes. So I love and pecans. I love a lot of solids in the banana bread. I think the banana bread should be like should have a lot of like a character to it, not just bananas. Kind of like a panini press, yes. And Caretaker, I will. So Calvin is getting me my recipe off the printer when he comes down in a little bit. When he comes down, I'm gonna have him run out into the garage and get one of the pie irons that's in there, because I know I've talked about these a bunch, but since I'm like doing them for dinner this time around, I'd like to actually show you one instead of just having this the concept of a pie iron. You know what I mean? It is like a panini press. Yeah, it's kind of like that, except for it's completely enclosed. So it's basically a cast iron square. And I will show you what that looks like. Early Bird gets the Cuban rolls. I know. I was like, what do you mean you sold all of them? And the guy was like, literally someone came in and bought every Cuban roll that was on the shelf and in like the paper bags. And I was like, how many rolls are we talking about here? And it was like 50 rolls or something ridiculous like that. And I was like, okay, I really should have ordered ahead, but I didn't, and that's okay. Cyber, welcome in. Hello. I saw the meow go off. I believe it went off. If it did it go off? It should have gone off. If it didn't, here it is again. Maybe? No. Hold on. Where is the meow? Fuck. Do I even have it on here? There it is. Meow, bitch. But why does it always do that one when I press it? Honestly, I don't understand. Dan, welcome in. Happy Monday, Dan. Good to see you. And it's good to see you too. Welcome in. 30 check-ins. Love that number. 30 is a good number. We are dancing real close to 10,000 check-ins, which is stupendous, and it's kind of unheard of and wild to me. Anyway, if you're watching on YouTube, you can check in there too, which is super cool. The first thing that we're going to do today is pop this pork loin into the oven. Now, I was at Reading Terminal and I was like, I want to buy like pre-cooked pork, right? Like pre-sliced, like pork lunch meat. Not really a thing. Ham, obviously, is a thing, but ham is not pork loin. So I went to two different places that sell sandwiches that have pork loin in them, and I was like, "Hey, can you just sell me some of your like this meat that y'all put in your sandwiches?" And they were like, "No, we cannot." So I went to which did I go to? Ginta's, Guintas. Ginta's Prime had pork loin. They had several that were in the case that were like unseasoned, like tied up, ready to go. But they had one that was like pre-seasoned, you know, already done, like ready to go. And I was like, that's the one for me. Yes, please. So I have this pre-seasoned pork loin here. It's all we're gonna do is unwrap this and put it in the oven. Like literally nothing is like that's it. It's already been like marinating. I washed my hands like like a minute before stream. So I am just going to cut this open. We're going to pop it on the pan and we're going to put it like directly into the oven from here. Because this has been, it's ready to go. It's been out on the counter for about 20 minutes or so at this point. It's been out on the counter for almost 40 minutes at this point. I know this because I got it out about 10 minutes before I started streaming. And my sense of how long we've been live is not great, honestly, because it's 30. It says the stream's been live for 31 minutes. I thought it was 10. Cool. Anyway, let's just get this. What kind of liquid is on here? Not that much liquid. Okay, so things with pork loin. I real quick looked up basically how do I cook a pork loin right before stream, because honestly, y'all, I've never cooked a pork loin before. I've never cooked one of these ever, not once ever. So I got some basic directions. I understand there's a couple things that are important. You put the fat side up, the part that has the fat. You don't put it on the bottom. You put that up and you let it sort of drip down.
Don't worry, I know what I'm doing.
You roast it.
I have no freaking idea what I'm doing.
So I'm an expert at this now because I read 45 seconds worth of information on two different websites on the internet. Best practice was that I understood was to roast it at about 400 degrees for like 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, and then you drop the temperature. You don't open the oven. You just drop the temperature, and you roast it for another like 40 minutes. So like 55 minutes total. This is a 2 pound 3 ounce pork loin. Then you rest it. You tent it with aluminum foil and rest it for
it's science,
10
Bob.
to 15
You're not
minutes.
supposed to understand
Right?
it.
It is science. Yeah, and then it's like good to go. So like I don't know what kind of seasoning is on it. The person was like, "Oh, do you know what what are you cooking with it?" And I was like, "I don't care. All I want is the seasoned one." I was like, "I'm making sandwiches with it. It doesn't matter. Like, just give me the one that's seasoned." I assume I roast it with these little ropes on it. It's all tied up. So the fucking like BDSM version of meat here somehow. I don't know. Trinidad says it's a little weird to see you with a big old hunk of pork. I know. I have never. I will say I'm almost positive. I'd be willing to bet that this is the first time I've cooked pork on this stream. In 567 streams, no pork. 568 streams, pork. So let's do this again somewhere around stream 5, 10, I don't know, stream 1000 plus. I don't wash my hands because I have pork on them now. Yeah, I don't really eat pork, generally speaking. I can't remember the last time I had it. I don't order it at restaurants. I don't. I just don't. I'm trying to think of if I've ever cooked pork on the stream, and I'm pretty sure I haven't. Mainly, I don't eat a lot of pork because it makes me sad because pigs are like really smart, and and I don't love that, you know. So I don't know. It's also just I don't know. I stick with chicken. My chicken is fine. Hunk is the best measurement. I know. One hunk, please. And then they're like, sorry, you need to give a weight. And I'm like, I don't know. We don't look at the scale. We look at how we feel in our body. And then they're like, sir, this is a butcher shop. And I'm like, oh, my bad. Let's put this in the oven. Oven's at 400 degrees. I don't know if parchment paper is the right thing to put this on, but I typically don't love aluminum foil, and I didn't want to put it directly onto the pan, so here we are. Parchment paper won't do anything bad, I don't think. What did I say? 15 minutes? Okay, 15 minutes at 140, and then we'll drop the temperature down to 350, and we'll do it for 40 minutes at that temp, and then we'll rest it. So I already got a 40-minute timer going. Not going. I have a 40-minute timer on here. Actually, let's just do like a full 55-minute timer. That way, when this timer goes off, I won't forget to start the second one. All right. So this is pork territory now. So we're gonna spray this off. You know what? No, we're not. We're gonna get the chicken out and just do that first, and then we'll do the rest. Keep the strings on, Ann says. Yes, I did. You know, and I read that chat, and then I didn't say it out loud, but I was like, oh yeah, I'll do that. Okay. Ooh, Twinderella, that's a great idea. The juice and the fat strip down. Thinking about if I should do that now. No, we're not. Oh, am I supposed to put this on like a grate of some kind? I'm just roasting it on the pan. I don't think I'm not like putting it on any kind of like grate. I'm hoping the fat just sticks around the thing and helps it cook. Dan says I feel like I don't see you use a lot of beef hamburger meat either. I don't, Dan. I don't cook with beef really at all. I have a few things that I make with beef, but generally speaking, I avoid cooking with beef because I don't because cholesterol, because the impact to the global warming. Meat grown in bottles. What? So this is like vegan meat. Do we call this vegan meat? What would we call that? Quilpy, welcome in. Happy Monday. I hope you're having a good one. I hope it was an easy weekend for you. The weekends are always fun. Sometimes Monday feels like Saturday. If you're a parent, I feel like you can relate to that statement. Sometimes the statement that sometimes Monday feels like Saturday used to. Like, oh, this is what a quieter house sounds like. Not in the summer. Oh, it's basically cloning. Oh my God, adorable. That is intense. That's a wow. Okay. So it's not like completely fake meat, but it's like let's use science to make this less directly harmful to a conscious animal. That's kind of wild. I had no idea. I've never heard of this before. What I will say is I don't use a lot of like meat replacements either. I just like I'll have chicken. Obviously, I'll have chicken. You know, how many times have y'all seen me do exactly what I'm doing right now? Just spatchcocking this thing and roasting it pretty plainly with salt and pepper. This is like my favorite thing to do. Not really. I mean, not this aspect of it, but the like let's just get a whole chicken and roast it and figure out what dinner is after the fact. I would say it's one of my like go-to kitchen tasks, right? Love to spatchcock a chicken. Hey, the bot's like, hey, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Stuff amazing. A bike ride sounds wonderful. Well, it sure sounds like it stopped raining. or you stopped caring. But one of those two things, either of those two things is true and valid. I'm hoping it stopped raining and not that you stopped caring. But if that's the case, that's fine. I support you either way. Enjoy the bike ride. Be safe. Ride safe. I hope you ride. I hope you have safe passage through the world. Okay, so this was a little, that was difficult to get out. I don't know why it was so difficult, but it was just not cooperative. Anyway, I'm trimming this little one up. So what I'm doing is I have the oven at 400 right now. It's got a pork loin in it. We're going to do that at about 10 minutes from now. We're going to drop the oven temp. I'm going to pop the chicken in at the same time. So when I drop the oven temp, I'm just going to open it up real quick and sort of throw the chicken into the bottom, and have that be roasting at the same time as the pork, because it said it's one of the things when I was getting the pork, looking at these pork recipes, was like, don't open the oven, don't open the oven. I don't care, y'all. I don't give a shit. I'm just gonna throw the chicken in, and then that'll be fine. And then the chicken will be about 40 minutes at the same temp as the pork finishes, so it'll all be good. It'll all work out in the end, or it won't. And I'll just be like, I shouldn't have done that, and then we'll learn. And then we'll be learning, you know, and that'll be fine. Right. No rain, just a million mosquitoes. Right. The day after the rain, when they all come out, that certainly tracks. Riding your bike in the wind is always funny, because it's like, it's all, for me anyway, I've had this happen where I'm like, I've almost been blown over by the wind, and it's like, oh my. Oh my. You're just like, well, this might be the end. I had it happen when I was riding my my scooter recently, where it was like super windy, and I was like, well, I might die, because I'm in traffic and almost unable to stay upright. I'm washing my hands real quick. Cyrus says, run a prediction. Will it be fine? Will the chicken and pork be fine co-mingling in the oven? I sure hope so. I'm saying yes, because my definition of fine is that they both reach the temperature where they're safe to eat. That's my definition of fine in this situation. Just FYI. Kosher bacon, how are my legs? Legs are good. When I sit for a little while and then I stand up again and like start to move real quick, not good. Not so great. But like, I'm standing right now, I feel pretty good. I don't have any no reluctance, no regrets around that. My total kilometers yesterday, by the way, was 25 kilometers is what I walked total. That includes walking to that includes like anything I did in the morning, the walking to the starting point, and then walking home again afterward. So all in 25 kilometers yesterday, which is a lot, which is I think more than I was expecting to do. Which is not to say it's a bad thing, but it was more than I was expecting. So, I feel great though, generally speaking. Feel good. Decisions were made. Dan, you get a seasoned pork loin often. Do you have any? Well, not that I could really genuinely act on this information, but do you have any tips on cooking it? Now that mine's been in the oven for a while. My very quick research on the internet let me know that I should higher temp to start, lower temp to finish. Higher temp to start, lower temp to finish. Let it rest for 10 to 15 minutes. This one is already seasoned, so I literally did nothing to it seasoning wise. I pulled it out of the vacuum sealed package and put it in the oven, and that's it. I'm seasoning this this chicken. Just pretty straightforward. I'm gonna add a little bit of garlic powder and a little bit of onion powder to my and dill, of course, dill, to the dry seasonings. Once this is all on, I'm gonna rub this in. So, crock pot. Okay, we have a prediction up in chat. Will the pork and chicken be fine? Will it be fine? I kind of like that as a prediction just across the board, not necessarily specific to this pork and chicken commingling encounter. Will it be fine? Maybe don't answer that honestly, but you know, you do you. Okay, let's rub all of this in, and I'm gonna get some olive oil on here as well. So I'm gonna rub this in all in, on, and underneath of this chicken. There's like a lot that I just tossed on the top of it, but I'm gonna get it all around. A crock pot. Throw it in the oven. I let it do its thing. That was what I understood from the thing, was basically like, don't mess with it. Like, they were basically like, get an instant read thermometer, which I don't have. Cook it to 150 and then let it sit for 15 minutes and then slice it and eat it, and you'll be fine. And I was like, okay, that sounds easy. I can do that. So that's literally what we're doing. Wrap it in parchment and tinfoil while baking so the moisture stays in and the top does dry out. Pull it from the baking wrap when it's 80% cooked to crisp up. Mustard and spice mixture. So you wrap yours up as opposed to just putting it in straight away. Okay. I did not do that. Dan, thank you for hanging out with us on your break. I appreciate you. I hope the rest of your workday is easy and smooth and everything you need it to be and nothing that you don't. Deathwish, welcome in. Happy Monday. Streaming on a Monday. Monday's a weird day to stream for me. I don't usually stream on Mondays. But also the day that I do usually stream, I'm not going to be around. So that's okay. So we're doing the thing today instead. So spatchcock this chicken. I've got everything sort of rubbed in here. My salt and all of that. I'm just going to give this a little bit of a rub on the bottom. I got some oil and seasonings just sticking on the pan here. So all of this is going to go in the oven, and then this will cook for 40 minutes at the same time as the pork loin. I'm going to leave the spine on the tray along with these little bits of skin because this is going to roast, and then I'll put this in my my bag. I have to start a new bag for my freezer for stock. So we're going to put all of that in the stock bag. Let me wash my hands again, and then we'll be ready to go. I have a pot of water on the stove that is currently boiling. I'm going to put my orzo in there in just a moment and cook that, because when we make pasta salad, I'm going to want that orzo to be cooled down completely. So we're going to cook that as well. Basically, we're getting all the heated stuff out of the way. All the things that need to be like heated. Prediction says it will be fine enough. Fine enough, I'm good with. I think fine enough, I can live with that. That's sort of how I envision, like, how will life be? Fine enough. Some days it's better than others. Some days it's not, and that's okay. Chicken is here. I'm gonna go ahead and just pop this in the oven now, because it's still at 400. So I'm gonna pop this in. Pork's looking good. Okay. When the timer goes off, we're gonna turn the oven down. Sabs, welcome in. Happy Monday. We're cooking today. We're back in the kitchen. I'm glad I'm using the good baking trays, right? The best baking trays are the full sheet pans that I have, that I mainly use for Cookie Club. I really don't use those for anything but baking cookies. Like, very honestly, I'm trying to remember the last thing. Oh, those are really only used for like desserts, cookies primarily. I think the things that I've made on there that are not cookies have been like caramel corn. I did caramel corn on there. What else have I made on there? I've never put any like meat or fat on those pans before. I'm very intentional about not using them for that. Not that there's any like distinct worry about cross-contamination or anything of that nature, but I just, it's like these are just the baking pans. I bake on these. We don't roast on these. When I was tending to baby, well, it will be back. It will be back. We do every hour. It comes back automatically. The bot just turns it on and off for me, which is great. All right. One more go around with the hands. We'll be baking in the kitchen tonight. Excellent. All right, what's on the menu? What's on the menu, Sab? Angry Rook, welcome in. Hello. Yeah, KVJ, those sheet pans. It's funny. I always that's one of those things that I'm like aware of. So I have the big sheet pans that I have are full-size sheet pans. I only use them for baking cookies. And when you're reading a recipe that's made for like a home kitchen, it's always interesting because like the sheet pan, when they say like line a sheet pan with parchment paper or whatever, they're always talking about a half sheet pan. Like never are they talking about a full sheet pan. And it's funny, like when I got those, I was like, these are huge. And then I'm like, wait, these are the size of like any bakery, any commercial bakery with like a quick, a quick rack or whatever is going to have, like, that's the size sheet pan they use. Beth, welcome in. Happy Monday. Most home ovens don't have room. Yeah, mine does. It's like, it can't go in long ways, but I can put it in widthwise, and it like just fits. There's like less than an inch on both sides, which is, I'm like, perfect. It's like it like just fits. Although it doesn't have a lot of room to like circulate, like the circulating air I worry about, but what are you gonna do? Get a better oven. That's what I would love to do, but I'm not. Okay, roasting the chicken, roasting the pork. So we did the fat side up, 400 at 15 minutes, 350 at 40 minutes. Let's turn this down. All right, 350. So that is, we're cooking. Cook the orzo. That's what's next. So we're gonna pop the orzo in there. While I'm getting the orzo, while the orzo is boiling, we're going to get our ingredients out for our banana bread, which is a lot of ingredients. My recipe is not complicated. It's not complicated. There's just a lot kind of happening there. So we're going to put the orzo in. I'm going to yell at Calvin to come to get me my recipe off the printer because I asked him to do that before stream started, which was almost an hour ago. So if he's still busy doing what he was doing, that's probably not great. Calvin! I'm gonna mute so I can actually yell. Okay, he's on it. Catastrophe. Do you use so you have a big enough oven for full-size pans, which is cool. I do. I only use them mainly when I'm using the oven. If I'm like roasting for dinners and stuff like that, I just use my half-size sheet pans, even quarter-size pans, because they're easier to handle, honestly. So tonight you're making garlic bread focaccia. Yum. I love focaccia. We had that last week. Spaghetti, spritz cookies and diamond cookies. Uh, um, elaborate on spritz cookies if you wouldn't mind. Spritz, is this like Aperol spritz? Are they what is the spritz aspect? The quarter sheet pans make great part trays. I love a quarter sheet pan. I have 2 quarter sheet pans that I use like regularly, that are my sort of go-to like little things. Like one of them, I'm roasting the chicken on one of them, because that makes it easier also to pull. Like it makes it easier to pull out, and it makes it easier when you are trying to pour the fat off of the pan. When you have like a big old sheet pan, and you're like, it's awkward to like kind of do that. I mean, if I was roasting like a bunch of like several chickens in one batch, a full sheet pan would be great. But the quarter is just fine. I am making a pound of orzo. Actually, let's do 20 ounces of orzo. I think, as I mentioned, I might want to do some of this for dinner tonight. So we're going to do an extra little bit. An extra little bit of orzo. Spritzer butter cookies. No clue. It's for a pastry school. Super. I kind of love that. So this is like just an exercise in, hey, I'm trying to do something new and do it right for the first time. That's cool. That sounds really fun. Sabs, have you encountered a recipe reborn on Twitch yet? Are you familiar with that channel? If not, well, I guess it doesn't matter whether you are or not, because I'm going to give him a shout out. A recipe reborn. Lemon is the person who is that. A recipe reborn is Lemon, and she is, among many other things, a culinary school student, and does some of those types of things streaming as well, where it's like, hey, I'm doing this class assignment, and she also has this thing where she will do vote like what my next class will be, which is kind of cool. Anyway, fellow food and drink streamer, would encourage you to follow if you're not already. Generally speaking, I'd encourage you all to follow Lemon. Thank you. Okay, my banana bread recipe has arrived. Perfect. All right, can you pause that while you're in doing this stuff? Okay, cool. Banana bread recipe is here. Classic European gouda cookies, famous for their melt-in-your-mouth texture and festive, intricately designed shapes. The name comes from the German word spritzen, which means to squirt, which describes how the soft dough is pushed through a cookie press. Cool. So you like push them through a press and then they like slice them off, is what I'm assuming. Okay. Water is boiling. Let's get this salted so it's good to go. While I'm standing right here, let me consider what I want to do for this. For the pasta salad, I don't have any pesto, so I'm thinking like olive oil is going to be factor very heavily in the actual sauce for this. I'm looking to see if I have any. Okay, so I have cooking wine, apple cider vinegar. Oh, what is this? Coconut white balsamic vinegar. Okay, that was really good. Red wine, white wine vinegar. I don't really want that. Liquid smoke, definitely not. Malt vinegar, no. Pomegranate molasses, no. I got hot sauces here. Chinkiang vinegar, This is, I have a lot of like dark vinegars. Oh, hold on. What is this? Apple syrup. No. Sunflower seed oil, toasted sesame oil, pistachio oil. Oh my God. I think coconut balsamic, white cooking wine. I thought I had a white vinegar in here, not white wine vinegar. I guess maybe this white wine vinegar might be okay. When you smell vinegar, how do you know if it went bad or not? That smells fine. It smells like what? This smells like I was expecting it to, so that's good. We'll use a little bit of that, and then let's use a little bit of what else would be? What other liquid would be good in here? Rose water? No. Apple syrup? No. Sesame oil. That's kind of a weird. It's like I love sesame oil, but I don't think that's gonna work. I thought I had white vinegar. Pistachio oil though. That might be. That's kind of nutty. I kind of like that. Maybe a bit of. Oh, hold on. Infused olive oil, butter infused olive oil. Oh my God, that sounds too rich. We need to clean out this cabinet again. I did this like a year ago, and every time I clean out this cabinet, I end up just like throwing shit back in here again, and then it just gets disorganized. But that happens. That's normal. Balsamic vinegar, rice vinegar. Oh, hold on. Maybe it's rice vinegar. I'm going to use some of this rice and white wine vinegar and pistachio. That seems like a little mix of things that I can get behind. Okay. As I'm saying all of this, I'm like, well, my orzo might be finished cooking soon. It's not. I didn't put it in yet. As I haven't turned back around from the counter. There we go. Okay. We did it. So here's kind of, I'm going to do a little bit of this, and then we'll kind of figure out the balance of those flavors in a little bit. So this is thrifted a really nice name brand cookie press, new in the box, super, $4. Love that. That's the type of thing you just buy when you're like, I'm gonna buy it. Am I gonna use it soon? No. Will I know what it? Will I know how to? What? It's like a thing. It's like when you decide you want to use it, it's nice to have it, and then you're like proud of yourself for having gotten it, having acquired it for so inexpensively. Oh, Lazy Susans. These, I have a couple Lazy Susans, but I do. I don't love. The ones that I have are tall, and I tried to put one in there, but some of the bottles I had wouldn't fit, and I could have adjusted. I guess I could have adjusted the shelf height, to be a little bit, more space, but I didn't. I do love a Lazy Susan. You do lose some corner space, but what you put in the corner, you put something in the corner that you just don't use all the time, and something that's tall and visible, and then you just know that it's there, right? Linda's just the cheapest plastic shelves. I see what I want from a Lazy Susan is I want the cheap one. I want the one that's this tall, that is less than a centimeter tall. The ones I have, I bought a while back for a kitchen reorganization project, and I tried to put them. They just they weren't big enough, and they were too tall. It was performative Lazy Susans, and I was like, I can't. These are not functional for me. So I want the ones from my childhood, from like the 80s that were like just the crappy ones. Yes, angle corner cabinet for the upper. I love that angry. We have this cabinet down here has a rotating shelf in it. So this is where I have all of the like pots, not pots. This is like Tupperware, plastic. This is plasticware, plastic containers, plastic cups. Nothing I use all the time, but I thought about putting my pots and pans in there, but I was also like pots and they're all right here. So I don't know. Let's put this. Speaking of putting things in, let's put this orzo in because like I'm just bullshitting. All right, orzo is in. I'm going to set a timer for that because I will forget it. Let's set a timer for 7. We'll start checking that at 7 minutes. So I got 25 minutes left on my pork loin, 25 minutes left on my chicken. Orzo has 7 minutes. I made orzo recently. I think it was last week at some point, and I made the mistake of using this colander, which doesn't have enough. It's my like pasta colander, and I just didn't think about it very much. And the holes in it are huge, and the orzo, like half the orzo went through it, and I was like, oh no! I was watching it go down the sink. It was so sad. Anyway, this is. I'm going to use this colander instead. Anyway. Yeah, no school and kiddo being home, so forth. That's what I was saying, where sometimes like Monday feels like Saturday, where like the summer is just challenging. If you're a parent and you move from having your kid in like school or occupied all day to being a totally different schedule, they get up at a different time, they have different things to do during the day, or they don't have anything to do during the day, which is even worse. It's just it's brutal. It's brutal. But you know, it can be fun too. All right, so the orzo is in and cooking. Banana bread. That's what we want to do. Where's my banana bread recipe? There it is. Okay, we got this. And Guruk says, I use a lattice dough cutter like once a year. The first time I needed one, I couldn't find one, so I just kind of winged it, and I was able to find one someplace. I thought I'd just use that one every year as part of the kitchen remodel. I had to empty my cabinets. Oh no, found that I own 2 of them. That's great. Well, now you have 2. And you didn't even know. It's a chip and dip. We got 2. That's funny. That's why you just pull everything out of your cabinets every once in a while. The chip and dip comment is a Mad Men reference. One is getting donated. Beautiful. For all those folks who are lacking a lattice dough cutter in their lives. I can't relate. I homeschool my son. Valid. Yeah, and so I mean, your schedule is very. I don't know if maybe it changes during different summer months. I know, like for me, Calvin is in school. You know, he goes to public school, and then he's in school for 9 months out of the year, and then or 9.5 months out of the year, and then summer hits and it's like everything changes. My schedule, for me, I think he's affected less because my whole schedule, literally my whole schedule changes because his camps have different drop-off times than school and different times from each other week to week. They have different pickup times. So he's leaving later. He's like out of the house later in the day and comes home earlier in the day than school. So like I don't have time to go to the gym in the morning. I don't have the same like afternoon. I have to go. I like literally have to drive somewhere to do camp pickup. And so like I can't start streaming. Like it affects everything. It really is. It's frustrating. it's fine. It's summer, and you only get so many summers with your kids, and like I acknowledge that, and it's fine. And I love having him do all these things, and it's totally fine. And it's frustrating. Like, we can have both of those things. The kids think they're grown now because they're preteens. Keep going outside and hanging with the neighbor kids. At least they're outside. I had to sit them down and explain that they're blessed with a mom with anxiety, sparkling anxiety. Yeah, you have to tell me when you're going out the door. You can go out the door. Toddler leashes. Oh my God, your preteen kids would love that. Yeah, I had comments about leashes, and anyway, dad routinely wakes up at 11. Fog Ice, I wish. I don't wish, actually. I routinely wake up at 6 during the summer. Seeing a lot of people doing banana bread. My brain's like, make banana bread. Yeah, use banana bread to make French toast. Oh yeah, yes please. French toast bread pudding, banana bread French toast bread pudding. Good Lord, that's super indulgent / a really good idea. Broccoli, welcome in. Happy Monday. It changes because we do sports. I work jobs in the summer versus during school time. Yeah, and that's, so you get it. I mean, it's a similar energy where basically the energy shifts and the time changes. No problem. Just need to know where they are. Yeah, I feel that same way, Twinderella. Like when Calvin goes to the playground on his own now, I'm like, if you leave the playground, you got to tell me that you're leaving the playground. If you're not where I don't mind that you have this independence, but I would like you to be where I expect you to be. Yeah, Twinderella, you and Gwen are like peas in a pod in that scenario with the true crime stuff. It would eat into the first 48 hours. I love that. I know what you mean by that. Have you decided which moderator you're going to arm? Kosher, thank you for the reminder. Kosher Bacon Jam sent some little mod hammers, and I have not, but we have a little moderator hammer here. I'll show you. This is funny. It comes with a little. Of course, I dropped it. It comes with a little thing that says "banned" on it. It's a stamp. And there's a little ink pad, and you're like, and it says "banned," which is very cute. It's a literal hammer. I have not. I have a hard time picking favorites. I do. I have a hard time picking favorites, but thank you. And KBJ sent some stickers as well, which I love because they are like bacon looking stickers, which is really funny. Yeah, they're really cute. Thank you. How many people's foreheads have I smacked with? None. I thought about getting Calvin with it, but I didn't. We're gonna take a look at this orzo here real quick. I don't know how long orzo is supposed to cook for. I forget. Yeah, I put one of the stickers on the back of my computer, which you can't see because it's there. Okay, 7 minutes. I mean, one more minute for that, and we're good. Wait, no, 2 more minutes. That was a bit toothsome. Split the difference. 1 minute 30 seconds. Love it. 7 to 10 minutes. Yeah, that was 7 exactly. It was probably about 8 once I started talking and set the timer and all that. So I think it's fine. Oh my God, stamping into his sleep. Fog Ice. I don't know how that would work. I feel like I know he wouldn't wake up. He's a pretty sound sleeper. Yeah, the stickers are cool. I appreciated them. Hold on. I have, you sent 2. I have one in the box. It's the emote, but it's actually a sticker with bacon. Very fun. And there's one on the back of my computer too. I appreciate it. Thank you. I love little gifts, little stuff. It's very very thoughtful. Oh, on your elbow, I bet that hurt. This is like, this part hurts right here. This little circle is like, ouch. Okay, I said I was gonna do the said I was gonna get the ingredients for the banana bread together while I was waiting, but I didn't. Excuse me. And now we have 5 seconds left on the clock. So in just a moment, we're gonna drain the pasta, and I'm gonna mix the pasta with some olive oil.
Excuse me, Daddy?
I'm actually gonna put the pasta in.
Daddy, sorry. Daddy, sorry.
Once
Daddy?
I've drained it.
Sorry. Daddy, sorry. Daddy, sorry. I'm sorry. Daddy, bye.
Oh, that last one gets me every time. Once I've drained it, I'm going to put it in this bowl with a bit of olive oil, and we'll kind of mix it up because I want it to cool to room temperature. I'm going to make the pasta salad in this bowl anyway, so I might as well drain it and put it in here. I'm going to mix it with olive oil so it doesn't stick to itself. Because once it gets into a big old lump, it's not really that great, TBH. I don't need to save any of my pasta water for this one because I'm not making pasta with it. I mean, the pasta has been made. I'm not like using it for a sauce. So I don't need to save any of the liquid. All right. One moment as I pour this out into the colander of the sink. I need 2 hands for that, and there we go. Beautiful. You're beautiful. Me speaking to pasta. Okay, come on out of the pot. There we go. Get it. We'll let that drain for just a moment while I scrape this out of the pot. We'll give it a stir in the oven or over the sink. I'll give the colander a stir. It's a conical colander, so it kind of bunches everything up. But we'll scrape what we can out of the pot. I'll give this a little, say stir. I'm going to give this a little toss here. Great. And then this is just going to go right into this bowl. Fantastic. And I am going to straight away pour a bunch of olive oil into here and mix that in so that this is just not, so it doesn't all get all sticky and congealed. We'll just leave this where it is in this bowl because I'm going to make the pasta salad in here in a little bit, and I'll just use the same spoon. So everything is good. We're like good to go. Pasta's ready. Everything is just going to stay over there and steam for a little bit. So, Kosher, that's neat that you have a little creative group. I love groups of people who do things like that, like just like sort of altruistic, community focused groups. I think that's lovely. Caretaker says, me speaking to my pasta is more like the Weird Al version of that song, You're Pitiful. Oh my God. I haven't heard that, but I think that's hilarious. Does Weird Al do concerts? Is that a thing? Can you like go watch it and play live? Can we do that? I don't know. Wait, what reset? The reset? Do we do a reset? What reset? I managed to cut my hand right between my fingers. Oh, yeah. Oh my God. That is brutal. Yeah. You can go see him in concert. Okay. I feel like I would like to at some point. Wait, Moonlit, did you hold on? Am I missing something? It says you've checked in one time. Should you have more than that? Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh no. Okay. Sorry. I thought I just got really concerned that you had checked in before and it like reset it to 1 somehow. Okay. Oh yeah. So that the reset has passed. It did. I started doing. We launched the check-in tracker on 4/20/2023. So it's never actually been reset before. I don't know why I put that there. I think when we first started doing the check-in stuff, I assumed that I would reset it every once in a while, and it would be like, oh, every month, how many check-ins did we have this month? How many did we have this year? You know, that type of thing. But like, I never actually reset it, and now we're at like over 9,000. So I'm not gonna reset it. I should probably just take that little note out of there because it can be confusing. It can be confusing, obviously. But I think I put it in there. I put the reset thing in there because I'd already been streaming for over a year when we launched the check-in tracker. So it was like, is already there. He does perform live. He's going to be in Edmonton on September 1st. Amazing. I kind of love that. Liz, hello. Welcome in. Nice to see you. We're doing a Monday stream today because we have a midweek friends camping trip. Me and my friends. This is an adult camping trip. So we'll probably get talked to by the Rangers, because that has happened on every adult camping trip I've ever been on, which is annoying and also like a thing. Whatever. It's annoying to me because I'm like, shh, shut the fuck up. Stop yelling. I'm like, y'all are talking too loud. And they're like, we're not talking too loud. What do you mean too loud? And I'm like, you're too loud. We're going to get yelled at by the Rangers. And they're like, we're fine, it's fine. And then we get yelled at by the Rangers. And I'm like, I told you. And they're like, well, we weren't that loud. And I'm like, but you are. I told you this before they came into the site, before they walked into the campsite and shown their flashlights at all of us, and you all panicked like fucking cockroaches. I told you this was going to happen. Soul terrain, right? Yeah, I'm like, yeah. Just don't say anything anymore. Yeah, Liz, I'm like, whatever. It's fine. To be fair, it's always the same person and they're not going to be on this trip. So I'm hopeful. But Liz, yeah, we're doing a little Monday stream today. This is like a shorter version of our trip prep streams because I'm prepping less. I have one whole less meal to prep for, which is great. We do have a little bit of prep we're doing today because tomorrow I don't want to do that. Oh, I don't even remember if I posted in the schedule in Discord. I don't think I did. I think I meant to. I think I meant to. Hold on, I'm looking at something. Yeah, I didn't. Oh no. I didn't. Yeah, I didn't post it in whatever. I did not. You're right, I did not post it in Discord. I bet you if I open my laptop, I know I updated it on the calendar. And I bet you if I open my laptop right now and open Discord and open the schedule channel, I would see a draft post where I wrote it, but just never hit enter. I wouldn't mind being talked to by team members of the Texas Rangers. Yeah, right? Tell me about your journey to Major League Baseball. Are you one of the chosen folks? Are you the one? I thought the bot was wrong. Yeah, no, it's just me. Liz, we're doing, this is like summer schedule, so everything is a tragedy. The schedule right now is like, my personal schedule is like awful. Awful. Genuinely just like frustrating. Let's get out our ingredients for this banana bread. We're gonna do muffins, banana bread muffins. So a little bit different. Baking soda, okay. We have regular flour and rye flour. Here's our regular AP flour, rye flour, brown sugar. I'm gonna use dark brown sugar because I have less of it, so we'll use a little bit of that up. Baking soda, salt, cranberries, chocolate chips, coconut. All right, chocolate chips, cranberries and coconut, or no, not cranberries, blueberries. Blueberries, chocolate chips, coconuts on the counter, pecans, butter at room temperature. Great. Well, I don't have that. Vanilla extract. I mean, I do have it. It's not at room temperature. We'll get it out. And it'll be at room temperature pretty quick. Pecans are in the other cabinet. Eggs are in the fridge. Bananas are on the counter. Okay. We got a lot of ingredients coming out right there. All right. And then all of this is dry weight. I have all of this portioned out by dry weight, so this should be pretty straightforward to bring together. Soften the butter to room temperature. Great. Let's do that now. Let's stick with butter. Wait, this is unsalted butter. I'm going to use this unsalted butter, even though I don't love using unsalted butter, because the alternative is to get butter out of the freezer, which will take more time to cool down. So we're going to do the thing with butter where it's not at room temperature currently, but we're going to cut it up real small and get that into some teeny tiny chunks, and that will cool to room temp a lot quicker. Cool to room temp. It'll warm to room temp. This room is not, I would not describe the room that I'm in currently as cool. I, in fact, have a fan on. I don't know if it's audible on the stream, but I have a fan blowing onto me from right there. It's kind of nice. And it makes a little buzzing sound, so I don't know, maybe you can hear it. Maybe not. It doesn't matter if you can hear it and it's bothering you. I'm sorry. I can't exist in this room without it. Because the oven's on and it's, we're roasting some meat. We've got a fan going, we got had the stove going a minute ago. It's all fun. Fun is not the word I would use. It is the word I did use, but it's not the word I wanted to use. It doesn't describe what I'm actually feeling right now. It's just warm. That's the word. Okay, so we have our, you know what? I didn't put any weights on here. I didn't transfer the weight. God damn it. I'm annoyed. I didn't transfer the weight from my, my draft recipe here. Do I still have that or not? I might. Let's take a look. I don't even know if I still have the draft recipe. Banana bread. There it is. No, fuck. I don't. That's annoying. I have several things that say banana bread, but they're all recipes that have been, or not recipes, they're all things that were packing lists. Okay, cool. Well, here's what we'll do. We're gonna, while we're doing this, we're gonna measure the weight of these. I'm gonna use actual measuring cups and such for this, and we'll measure the weight, and the next time we'll be able to just do it by weight. Because as y'all are probably aware, this is frustrating to look at a recipe and it says 1.5 cups of flour, and I'm like, what does that mean? Soften the butter to room temperature. We're doing that. Grease a loaf pan, coat it with a thin layer of flour, tapping out the excess. Preheat oven. Okay, so the oven is already heated. There's things in the oven right now. We're going to grease a loaf pan with some butter. I'm actually not going to grease a loaf pan. We're going to try this today as a... I'm deciding if I want to do this as muffins. Or, because I wrote this recipe, this is like the recipe that I've been using, or not that I've been using. This is the one I made up last time based on like 3 different versions of a recipe plus my own taste. And this is for a loaf. So I'm actually, you know what? I'm going to do a loaf and then I'll just slice it and I'll wrap the slices in plastic wrap. That way I can test this recipe that I wrote as I wrote it, as opposed to like, hey, I'm going to test this recipe, but I'm going to do it a little differently. Sabs, I have a conversion chart on the refrigerator right here. I have several. One's for flour. This is the King Arthur one, flour, cake flour, whole wheat, sugar, brown sugar, confectioners. I have the fluid conversion chart for the 1 cup to ounces to tablespoons to teaspoons to milliliters. And then I have, this is the one that I love the most, the gallon to quart to cup to tablespoon to like teaspoon conversion chart, which is super fun. I'm still going to weigh. I do love using the conversion chart, but I think the last time I made this, I used the actual measuring cups. So that's like what I want to do today is just do that and then make a note of the weight and see like how close it compares, like rye flour versus AP flour. Like, does it compare to what the measure magnet says? I do love that though. The conversion chart, I use that regularly for liquid stuff. When it's like, you know, a teaspoon or a tablespoon of this particular liquid, I know that, you know, if it's basically the same density as water, I can just use milliliters to grams and then have that be the I can weigh it out in grams essentially. Did you all know that a milliliter of liquid of water is basically a gram? It's like the same thing. It's not exactly the same thing, but it's so close that it only matters when you get up into like really high volumes. If you're measuring out like 2 tablespoons of liquid, it's the difference is so marginal. It's not really a thing. I love my conversion chart though. I love it so much. I have 3 of them. I feel like that should be a stream graphic. I should just put that up on the I should like have a graphic I can put up that's just like a boom conversion chart right here, like a big one, and we could just do the math together. That would be a good idea. A squibble, 1/10 of a gram. That's like 5 grains of kosher salt, right? That's like basically nothing. That's a fun one though. I've never heard that before, and I'm happy to have heard it. So we're going to put a little bit of flour in here and kind of shake it around. Just line the pan with some flour. I want to shake the excess out. And make sure I get everything. This is where you can tell where you missed from the greasing, the grease stuff. Like, oh, there's a little spot that doesn't have any flour in it. Okay, perfect. Beautiful. All right, let's tap this out into the sink. So that my pan is ready. Now, soften the butter, grease the loaf pan, coat with a thin layer of flour, tapping out the excess. Done. Preheat oven to 350. Combine the dry mix. In a medium bowl, whisk together the flours, sugar, baking soda, and salt. Stir in the blueberries, chocolate, coconut, and pecans. In a large bowl, using a hand mixer or fork, mix the butter until creamy. Add the eggs, yogurt, and vanilla, and mix until fully blended. Mash 4 bananas into the mix, leaving some large chunks. Okay, so we're going to do the dry mix first. This is easy. One bump. What exactly do you mean? Just kidding. I know what you mean. You do not need to explain. If you know, you know. I don't know personally, but I know. In a medium bowl, whisk together the flours, sugar, baking soda, and salt. Okay, so let's do that. We're going to tare our scale and get that ready to go. Flours, 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. So this is the all-purpose flour. So we're going to fill the measuring cup, scooped. So this is scooped in, not, we didn't dip the cup in, scooped and leveled. So there's 1 cup. 1 cup of all-purpose flour is, according to this scale, 157 grams. According to my measure magnet, it's 142. So I'm going by the I'm going by this volume here, like what it came out to. So 231 of all-purpose flour. So if we do some math, 142 times 0.5 plus 142 is 113. Wait, 142 times 0.5 equals plus 142, 213. So it's 17 grams difference between this and the measure magnet. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the 230, but I think actually no. I'm going to go ahead and do I'm going to drop this to 213 grams. That way it aligns with the volume if you were to like look this up. Yeah, 142 all-purpose flour. 113 says cake flour. So, okay. Rye flour is next. So we have all-purpose and rye. Rye flour is half a cup. Now for this one, I don't have. There's no thing that tells you on the magnet what rye flour weighs. So we're gonna scoop and level, and then we'll just put that in, and that says 68 grams. So we'll say 68 grams because that seems reasonable. So we have the flours. Now we have the sugar. It says sugars. Oh no, it doesn't in my recipe. It just says sugar. Okay. I was like, oh, does it? Flour, sugar, baking soda, and salt. So flour is done. Sugar is brown sugar. That is 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar. Now this says 1 cup of packed brown sugar is 198 grams. So let's go and just go with 198 times 0.75 is 148.5 grams. So we're just going to do that. 120. Whoa, that's too much. That's too much. Let me take one of these big. There we go. That was way too much. I went way overboard. There's a big pile on the top, so we're just going to take some out of there. 152. Close enough. Hey, Mix, there you are. Welcome in. We figured out the sounds. Obviously, I put in a lot of work. I now fully understand how the sounds work. So I had to fix another problem after the last in the kitchen stream. Now they work. I'm confident that they work now. How confident? 80%. 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda. So let's do a 1/2 and a 1/4. Half baking soda. Confirm this is baking soda. This is baking soda. 1/2 of a teaspoon of baking soda. There's, yeah. Confirm that that's a 1/2 teaspoon. And a 1/4. 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. So we have some kosher salt. I should note that I'm using kosher salt here. And not another type. 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. There's a 1/2. There's a 1/4. Half a cup. So let me stir this. First, let me mix this together. I'll whisk that together because that is because these are all dry. My timer went off for that from my oven, and I didn't take anything out of the oven. Will it be fine? Will it be fine? We're going to take the pork loin out, that's for sure. The pork loin is probably finished. I only take a tenth of it. I'm just remembering that my timer went off a couple minutes ago, and it's fine if it's a little bit over. Yeah, we're done. This is one. I'm hitting in the middle. I got 160 something in the middle. So that is most certainly done. So we're going to take this out and tent it with aluminum, and then we will rest it. Is it fine? Well, Cyber, I can tell you very directly that it is cooked. It has finished cooking. My chicken is not yet. My chicken's at 120, 130. Yeah, chicken still needs about 10 more minutes. But we're going to take the pork out. That is definitely done. I'm going to put a aluminum foil over it, and we're just going to tent that. I'm going to let that rest. I'll let it rest just like that. If it's a little dry, I don't really care, if I'm being honest, because we're not eating it directly. I'm not cutting off medallions of pork loin and serving them. I am cutting it up, storing it, putting it in like a plasticware container, and I'm making sandwiches out of it. So it's really not I'm not like presenting it as a, as like a this is the dinner. It's like part of another thing. So I'm like, if it's a little dry, that's fine. Will it be fine? It is fine. Confirmed fine. I haven't tasted it yet, so I will taste it. I will let you know what it tastes like. I'm putting the dry ingredients back in the cabinet here because that needs to happen so that the counter is not cluttered. Okay, that's good. And is this microphone charged? It is. We're also charging the IRL gear very slowly, one little piece at a time. All the batteries are charged again. The microphone is charged again. So the chicken needs about 10 more minutes. That's what I said, right? Yeah. Okay. Whisk together the flour, sugar, baking soda, and salt. Stir in the blueberries, chocolate, coconut, and pecans. It also says to toast the pecans, which I did not do yet, but I can do right now because that is like a 4-minute task. Calvin's here. Hello.
Hi.
How are you doing? How are you doing? What are you doing?
Finish my carrot.
You finished your carrots? Bring the bag down. Prove it. A cup of pecans. Okay. Toasting pecans is always good if you want them to remain a bit pecan shaped. Yeah, it's toasting pecans is an easy thing. Is a really easy. It's like toasting nuts before you use them is super easy to do, and it does genuinely make them taste better. I know we're both chronic nut burners. I know. The thing is, what I would love to do, Cyber, is I'd love to one day just like roast this whole bag of pecans, right? And store them in the freezer. And when I say roast them, what I mean is put them in the oven and sit in front of the oven and watch them and roast them to like the perfect amount and then be done with it.
Yesterday I just unplugged them and didn't move them at all.
Your chargers are over there. Your charger is literally over there. I know this because I unplugged it from the counter, I wrapped it up, and I moved it over there last night. I don't know, and I didn't. No one touched it during the day because Mom's phone uses a different charger now, and it is definitely over there. You have to look behind the calendar thing.
I know.
Okay, I'm telling you that I'm almost 100% positive that it is right there. Okay. So 7 minutes left on the chicken.
All the way back.
Oh, it's all the way back there. Okay, well, it's still there. It's not. What's that you've got in your hand? If that's not the right one, you can just leave that there.
No, this is.
Oh, okay.
You said it's still back.
No, okay. I was repeating what you said. It's all the way back there. Okay, these are good. We're gonna put these pecans in the oven for about 7 minutes. Because that's how long the chicken takes. Do you want one of those cream pies? The oatmeal cream pies? We made oatmeal cream pies over the weekend for a recipe test. There's also blueberry cobbler and peach crisp in there.
Yeah, I'm gonna have the cream pie, but I'm also gonna have this last small bit of chocolate.
Okay.
Do you want a piece?
No, I'm good. Thank you. Hold on, I missed something. Mix just boiling down water to make sea salt. I kind of love that though as a hobby. That's sort of like that's like people who decide they want to make barbecue and they just make a whole day out of it, right? Instead of like going out and sitting by the smoker, you're just going out and sitting by the salt maker. Sounds great. I do love raw walnuts though. I do.
Oh, this is hot.
For sure. What's hot?
That.
The pasta? Yeah, I just made pasta. Jamie, welcome in. Hello.
I didn't realize it was hot.
Hello. Good to see you, Jamie. I hope you're having a good one. Okay, so this is good. Baking soda and salt. Stir in the blueberries, chocolate, coconut, and pecans. So blueberries are here. These are real blueberries.
Blueberries
Mixed with corn syrup, it says. But they all are, so that's okay. What kind of level blueberries are we talking about? A half a cup of blueberries. Okay. So we're doing weights here, so we're figuring out our weight. This is a half a cup of dry blueberries, which is 85 grams. Quarter cup of chocolate chips. So I don't need the pecans anymore. Sweaty but okay. Sweaty but okay is like a good name for a memoir. You know you're supposed to store nuts in the freezer? I didn't know this. I knew this instinctually, but I also just recently was reading something that was basically like never ever store your nuts in the at room temperature because they go bad really quickly.
I didn't bring up what I came down here for.
I didn't, and I was like, oh yeah, I think I knew that. I knew that they go bad really quickly, but I didn't think to put them in the freezer. Okay, wait, 85 grams. Did I write that down? Yeah, I did. A quarter cup of chocolate chips. That's 72 grams. And all of these weights are like relatively like it could be 80 grams. I could just call for 80 grams of chips, 80 grams of blueberries, whatever. It doesn't make that much of a difference. I'm just trying to give a weight to it so that I don't have to do this anymore. I can just open up the bag and kind of dump it in until it's the right weight. This is a sort of recipe that I made last time, and I was like, I'm just going to throw a bunch of stuff in there, and it turned out really it turned out really well. The goal of this recipe was to make a banana bread that was really, really moist. That's not dry, but also holds together. And that worked when I made it. And so I'm sort of today I'm making the recipe as I wrote it down and seeing if it works the way that I think it will, or the way that I'm seeing if it works in a like testing format. Now, if I was testing this for like a work type of thing, I would be doing it with a lot more notes. I say as I'm writing down the individual weights of all the shit in here. Anyway, 72 grams. So a quarter cup of coconut is 28 grams. I didn't tear my scale after that, but I was at 72. Now it's at 100. So yeah. So that's how we roll. Excellent. Sweet and shredded coconut. A cup of pecans, chopped and toasted. We got 2 more minutes left on those pecans. I don't have the click me redeem. Maybe I think you might have to refresh your browser, and it should pop up automatically. So an ounce, yeah, basically, yeah, it should pop up automatically. It's still live. Oh wait, no, it's gone. Before it's only there for 90 seconds. Like from the moment you hear that bell, 90 seconds later, it literally goes away again. So the bell is. What I should probably do is create a delay between the bell and the thing turning on. So that it's like create a little bit longer of the time period, because I know I feel like the delay, the broadcast delay, if you have a long delay between me actually saying something in real life and then it happening on the stream, if you have like a 30-second delay, then it's the sound. Basically, from the time you hear the sound, you only get like a minute to do the thing, because the bot is going to turn it off in real time. I don't know. I don't know how to like explain that specifically. Okay, but the nuts are going to come out of the oven in just a moment. I need to weigh those. I do need to weigh those. Okay, so our scale is at 0. This is why I like weights, because I don't need to have all 3 of these. These don't need to be dirty. Yeah, make the real-time window longer. Exactly. Mix. What I need to, it says 90 seconds, but what I think I might do is just extend. Yeah, I might extend that a little bit longer, because it's like a hard 90 seconds. Yeah. Cool. So I set a reminder for myself in the Discord. Chicken is, well, my thermometer's not on, so that's not helpful. Chicken is at 156, 57, 52, 53. Okay, I'm gonna give the chicken like three more minutes, and then we'll be done. These nuts are definitely finished. I'm just gonna sit these on the counter for just a moment to let them like cool down while I get my wet ingredients together. And then once the wet ingredients are together, everything kind of goes in. I'll open the oven, take the chicken out, and put the bread in. In a large bowl, using a hand mixer or fork, mix the butter until creamy. Okay, so I am going to use this. Oh yeah, that's like room temperature right now. You can tell it's warm in here because that butter is soft. I am going to use the hand mixer for this because I used a fork last time and the texture was good, but I think it came out a little bit chunky and I wanted it to be a little, just a bit smoother and more incorporated than it actually was. So we're going to use an electric mixer this time and see what difference that makes in the process. Oh wait, I don't need that. That's a whisk. Here we go. Okay. So let's use the electric mixer this time. Yeah, we're settling into some of these new things. The Click Me thing is brand new. That's like a week and a half, 2 weeks old. Maybe 3. Could be a month. I don't actually remember. Hold on. I gotta move my extension cord here without. Oh shit! I just unplugged the stream. I didn't unplug the stream. I unplugged. What camera did I unplug? Oh, I didn't actually unplug. Okay, never mind. Something's not going to work later. When I go to do something later and it doesn't work, it's because I just unplugged something by accident. It's probably that camera. Let's check. Nope. Okay, well, never mind. Okay, so in a medium bowl, whisk together the flour. It's done that. In a large bowl, using a hand mixer or fork, mix the butter until creamy. Okay, so we're just gonna give this a little mix. Maybe about a minute or so. There we go. I'm not creaming this in the sense of like adding sugar to it. I'm just getting it all soft and pliable. Okay, add the eggs, yogurt, and vanilla. Eggs are need 2 eggs. Might have 2 eggs in here. I do. Look at that, 2 eggs. So eggs. 1. Talk about getting a shell in there. That was like a whole half of an egg. That one was easy to pick out though. 1, 2 eggs. Wash my hands. And then yogurt. I used full-fat Greek yogurt the last time I made this, but this is annoying, and I think I want to like accommodate this separately somehow in the future. I don't think I want to do that today, but basically, I had half of a container of yogurt the last time, so it calls for 2.5 ounces of Greek yogurt. This container is 5.3 ounces. So that's annoying because because it's literally half of a tiny container of Greek yogurt. But I'm going to go with that today because that's what I did last time. And I know it turned out okay. And I want to replicate what I did last time just to see if it works and see if there's any like inconsistencies to when I made this last time. I was like, oh, we'll see if it works. So we're just gonna add. There we go. That's better. 2.5, 2.5 ounces. Tidy Whities, welcome in. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. I'm gonna eat this later. I'll just like pull that out of the fridge and make a little snack out of it. This is recycling. This goes into the recycling bin, and we're gonna mix this until it is what does it say? Mix. Oh, and vanilla. How much vanilla? 1.25 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Okay. So I just put my. Did I do? No, I didn't. Okay. I have my 1/2 teaspoon here, so we are gonna measure this time around, as opposed to what I usually do with vanilla, which is just like dump it in and go with it. But I measured it when I was writing the recipe, so let's measure it this time. And we're gonna do our mix until incorporated. Good. Beautiful. Now we add four bananas into the mix. So I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to need one for the top. So I bought these bananas last week because I knew that I would be making banana bread. So they are nicely ripe here. I should get that chicken out of the oven. I know that it's not, I said I was going to put the banana bread in, get the chicken out and put the banana bread in at the same time. The chicken is definitely finished now, so let's just get that out, because what will happen is if I don't get it out, one, it will overcook, and then two, I'll be like, this is too hot, I can't touch it yet. I can't do my next step of my recipe. So we're going to go ahead and just take that out, and that's done. So right now we're on the clock, and I hate having an empty oven that I'm going to use again later, but it is the case today, and that's okay, and we'll just deal with it. Banana bread is going to go in there though, and that's going to bake. We're not eating the banana bread today. I will try the banana bread today when it comes out, because I'm going to cut it up. So I will definitely try some of it on stream and see if it kind of lives up to the last version. But the banana bread is not for dinner specifically tonight. What is dinner tonight? I don't know what dinner tonight is, but I need to figure that out, because it is 17:50 right now, and I honestly, I don't have any idea. So once we've got the banana bread in the oven, we're gonna pause for like just a moment and figure out what dinner is. I think dinner might be pasta salad, which my family's gonna be like, F you. I was thinking about that too, Twinderella breakfast for dinner. I was thinking like, let me just make egg sandwiches, and we'll call it a day, and that would be fine. Maybe we'll do like egg and cheese sandwiches. I don't know. But we're gonna do it right now. We're gonna keep doing what we're doing here, which is adding bananas into this. So I'm adding 4 bananas into the mix here. When I press these bananas in, I want to leave them kind of chunky. One of my favorite parts about banana bread, any like banana bread that I purchase anywhere, is the versions of it that have like big chunks of banana in them, like big visible chunks of banana. I think for me that is ideal. Which is why I'm going to mix the banana aspect in by hand as opposed to using our mixer. One of the recipes that I have used in the past before calls for putting the bananas into your stand mixer when you're using it and then having it mix in like that. But I prefer to have them as I prefer that they maintain their shape a little bit better. And so we're going to I'm going to mash them in by hand for this recipe. And we're going to use a fork for that. This fork specifically. Oh yeah. No, that sounds delish. I don't have any meat to toss in. I guess I could use chicken. We could do like the chicken life cycle dinner, which is like whole roast chicken pieces plus eggs. Could always do like a frittata type of thing, or just like make a bunch of scrambled eggs and put them in a pan. I think that's an option. I might we're gonna make some decisions here. As soon as I get this bread in, is what we're gonna do. I'm pretty sure dinner is going to involve eggs, though, in some capacity. The hard-boiled eggs that I made for Calvin, by the way, were a big hit. He like really enjoyed those. And then he accused me of eating the rest of them at one point, and I was like, "Nah, dude, you ate the rest of them. I like watched you do it." And he was like, "Oh yeah, okay." You ate the rest of my hard-boiled breakfast eggs, and I was like, "No, I did not. No, I did not." Check yourself. Check yourself with your accusations. Mix mashed bananas, leaving some large chunks. With a spatula, fold the dry ingredients into the wet mixture until just incorporated. Okay, well, let's do that with a spatula as it says. Lemon poppy seed mix in the pancake. Yeah, I love that. I could do pancakes tonight. Actually, pancakes would probably be really well received tonight. Matthew, hello. How do I feel about this meal? Well, tonight's dinner is going to be brought to you by necessity and not joy. So, how do I feel about it? It'll be fine. Whatever it is, whatever it ends up being, it'll totally be okay. I almost forgot to put the nuts in there. Those would have been sitting on the... If I'd have looked over and saw those sitting on the counter once the bread was in, I would have been really upset. Moonless says, I fully believed and went to bed angry at my stepdad for drinking my juice. Right? Yeah, and he was like, you ate all my eggs. And I was like, no, I sure didn't. I sure didn't. I knew that I didn't, because just that morning he had eaten, he ate them, and there were 3. I knew it because there were 3 left, and he was like, I'll have 2. And I was like, well, there's 3. Do you want all of them? And he was like, yeah. And then he did. And then that evening I got accused. And I was like, buddy, I have receipts. Receipts? Potato cakes like latkes? I love a latke. Spirulina and ube powder. That sounds fun. Turn them purple? Yeah. Of course you turn them purple. Who doesn't like purple food? Who doesn't like food that's been naturally colored in a fun way? People with sensory issues. I'll answer that question. But generally speaking. Okay, so dry ingredients are mixed in. Did I miss anything in here? Flour, sugar, baking soda, salt, blueberries, chocolate, coconut, pecans, butter, eggs, yogurt, vanilla, bananas. No, I did not. We got everything. Okay. I was worried that maybe there was a wet ingredient I was missing, like milk or something like that. I may opt in the future versions of this recipe to add a little bit more yogurt to this, because I would prefer to use the whole container of yogurt as opposed to like just some of it. So my goal with the next version of this is to adapt, or to make the change. Maybe we take some of the butter out of here. Maybe we do, 6 tablespoons of butter instead of 8, and do the full container of yogurt, because as I said, I really don't love having to buy a whole container, one of those like little yogurt cups, and then just not use the whole thing. It's weird. Like, what are you supposed to do with the extra 1.5 ounces, 2 ounces of yogurt in there? Right? Just like throw it away. 1 spoonful of it, like you eat it while you cook. Like, I don't know. Anyway, pour the mixture and spread evenly with a spatula. There we go. So we're going to spread this evenly with a spatula, making sure it gets into all the corners of the pan. Beautiful. Okay, so this is good. Let's give this a little bit of a let's give this a little bit of a drop here. Actually, let me use this banana as a scraper. A little bit of a drop. There we go. And then cut the banana in half lengthwise. Press lightly into the top of the batter with the cut side facing up and the rounded sides facing down. And you know what I'm going to do for this one that I didn't do for the last one, and it's not going to change. It's not going to change the baked outcome of this recipe, but it will change the texture and the visual outcome. Is I'm going to sprinkle this with a little bit of chunky sugar on the top, because I kind of love when you have these like quick bread types of things, when you have some like sugar chunk on top. And I'm going to use this spiced orange sugar that I have in the cabinet. I didn't forget that I have it, but when we were cleaning out the baking cabinet, I found it again and was like, oh, I haven't used this. So here it is. We're going to sprinkle some spiced orange sugar on the top of this. Bake at 350 degrees for 80 minutes. That's 80 minutes. So we're going to pop that in the oven and let it rip. There it goes. It's in. I need some notes on pause. I need to set a timer. That's what I need to do. 8000. What did I do differently? Sprinkle with chunky sugar. I need to know what I'm looking for when I take it out of the oven. I'm looking for hold away from side slightly and top is cracked and brown. Cyber, you don't know how you feel about the giant banana situation. The giant bananas kind of caramelize in the when they're cooking. You'll see when they come out. I think they are there's another recipe. I forget. It wasn't for banana bread. It was for something else that I was familiar with that process from, and I know that it works. I know that it's like a good, like you would think that they would kind of burn, but they don't. They just sort of dry up a little bit, and they get really caramel like. The sugar when the moisture evaporates out of them and the sugar concentrates, so they're very sweet at the end and a little bit smaller than they are when they go in. So that's sort of what happens with them. Okay, pause. Let's figure out what dinner is, because I need to do that. Okay, pasta, portion coffee, banana bread. We did. Banana bread is done. Coffee will portion tomorrow. Pasta salad. We need to cut the vegetables and assemble. The other thing that I want to do is slice my bread for my pie iron sandwiches, but we'll get to that in a little bit. The pasta salad is more important to do than that because I can slice the bread at the campsite. I don't need to do that here. That's a thing I'm willing to do on site is slice bread. That's easy. It's easy, and yet people buy sliced bread and love it. So, you know what it is. Carly, hello. Thank you for your resub. I appreciate you. That is that you have been a subscriber for 18 months. Do you know what that means? I bet you know what that means. The bot will tell you. It means that you're guaranteed a cookie club this month, which is super cool. It means that if you're into it, you can get cookies sent to you from me when I do Cookie Club, which might be next week. It might be. We're going to do the drawing on the next stream, and then we'll make the cookies on the stream after that. But summer schedule is wild right now. So I don't know when the actual making is going to happen, but suffice it to say, you get cookies. Thank you for being a subscriber. I appreciate you. 18 months is a long time to be hanging around, listening to me blab. So I always forget about them and find them in my mailbox. I kind of love that. Hopefully it's a nice little treat, and they should be pretty good for a while because they're vacuum sealed. So Cyber, they're not too smushy. No, they dry, so they dry out quite a bit, and they're actually pretty nice, I think. Pasta salad, I'm getting these things out because I know that we're using them. Dinner, let's see. We have had a lot of bread eaten in this house today. I think Gwen had some sandwiches for lunch. So let's see. You know what I've got that I'm gonna throw in? Hey, Callie, for dinner tonight, do you think will you eat one of those breakfast wraps that we had camping? For dinner tonight, how about one of those breakfast wraps that we had camping? Okay, how about one of those dinner wraps that we had for breakfast while we were camping? Okay. Y'all, dinner's ready. This is a used it up meal. We're using it up. I made these wraps for Calvin and his friends when we went camping last month. You watched me do it on stream. Now we're going to eat them for dinner because that'll be the easiest thing I could possibly do. And I didn't lie. They have eggs in them. So I maintain my integrity. It's even easier. Are those just containers of water in your freezer? Yes, they are. They are for camping. This was a suggestion from two camping trips ago that was made in chat to just freeze quarts of water for ice packs, and I did that earlier today. I popped these in the freezer, because it's going to be over 100 degrees while we're out this time around, and that's some bullshit. And two things. One, my cooler is going to have less in it than it usually does because I'm not doing 100% of the cooking. And it's going to be hotter than it usually is. So I'm going to pack it with this, and then I'm going to pack it with ice from the freezer as well. So it'll be nice. But yeah, there's a bunch of quarts of water in the freezer. Trinidad says my teenagers have discovered coffee. Oh no. Teaspoon of instant coffee has my oldest jittering. That's kind of amazing. I warned them before they tried it. So far, they're being cute and not drinking it more than once a week because they don't want to get addicted or stunt their growth. That's great. Yeah, you should tell them that the more coffee they have, that they'll actually regress and get shorter. I think that's an appropriately responsible thing to tell children. Anyway, good luck with that, and good luck at like 2 o'clock in the morning when you're like, I'm trying to have me time, and they're like, I'm still awake, and would you like to go for a run? And you're like, no. But enjoy. I am streaming. Maybe lessons need to be learned across the board. I don't know. Caretaker says I freeze boiling water so I don't have to do it later. You got me. It's true. This pork loin has been resting for a while. It's still warm. I'm literally going to let that rest. I'm going to let that continue to rest because I want to pluck. I want to take this chicken and get that I want to get this situation handled because this needs to go in the pasta salad. The pork loin can continue to cool down on the stove. When I cut that, I'm just going to be putting it into a container for sandwiches. So we're making I need a freezer bag, and I need a freezer bag. This is a good freezer bag. Chicken has a huge butt. Yeah, I mean it's chunky. Hashtag thick. I was on a dry cooler system. No loose ice, only ice in containers and frozen things. That's usually what I do, Cyborg. I mostly, yeah, I don't love having my food sitting in like in moisture. I will say that towards the end of trips, I will start putting actual ice in the cooler. What's the outcome of the prediction? Well, the chicken cooked. This is ready. The pork loin I took out of the oven. I haven't cut into it yet. It's still sort of just doing its thing. It's resting. I'm going to cut that up in just a bit here. We're going to manage the chicken, and then I'll probably cut the vegetables. Now I'll cut the pork first. I guess I'll cut the I'll do the chicken, and then we'll cut the pork, and then that will be the end result. So the chicken is going into the pasta salad. What I'm going to do is take all the chicken pieces, take all the meat and put that into a bowl. And then from there, I'll cut some of that up and put it in the pasta salad. And then the rest of it, I'll just put in the refrigerator. This is now my freezer bag. So I've got my like little bits of chicken here. I just washed my hands. So let's see. Is this still too hot to handle? Oh, it's steamy. Yeah, that's probably going to be, yeah, that's too hot for my hands to touch. But let's take it apart and we'll cut the pork loin first. How's that? But I'm putting all of the, I'm going to put the bones in this freezer bag. I'm going to take this, I'm going to pull this apart kind of as much as my hands can handle. From a temperature perspective, yeah, that's yeah, very hot. Okay, that's gonna be it. That's gonna be it. For those, the little wings here are fine, but we're gonna process both the pork and the chicken right now, and then I'll let you know how the prediction turned out ultimately. I think it was fine. Again, the pork is not being served as a standalone dish like this evening for dinner. It's going to be part of pie iron sandwiches. Hey, Callie, can you do something for me? That would be nice and helpful. Can you go to the garage and get one of the pie irons? Yeah, right now would be great, because if you forget and I have to ask again, you'll probably be annoyed at me. Just saying. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that is so hot. Okay, we're doing this in phases here. I'm doing this chicken in phases. I was listening to what I know you probably couldn't hear it on stream because he's upstairs, but I'm going to show you what these actual pie irons look like. I realize I've said this word on stream many times, and I've never actually like shown you what they look like. Obviously, Google is a thing, and you could probably look them up if you were interested. But I'm just realizing, like, I've never actually displayed one of these. Okay, this is very hot. Let me get a knife, and I'll actually, this would be easier. This would be easier if I had a knife because I can just cut this off. And I don't need to like, I don't need to destroy my hands. My hands are not extremely sensitive to heat anymore. I feel like I can touch things that are a lot hotter than maybe a normal person. Tornella, enjoy your lurk. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. The lurk time, by the way, for anyone who's listening and lurking, we're I'm starting to keep track of lurk time, and sometime soon we're gonna put together a way for lurk time to count toward Cookie Club in a meaningful capacity, where if you just leave the stream open on your computer and are lurking but not functionally chatting, whether or not you use the lurk command, you will accrue Cookie Club points. So I've already worked out the methodology of how to gather those points. I don't really know how to make it work from a like lurker perspective. So it's also hard to ask because like, hey, what would work for you? Because if you're lurking, you probably don't really want to give feedback or chat, which is totally fine. But I'm just be aware, I'm considering how to make that a thing that can happen on stream, where, you know, you come in, you lurk, you leave the stream open for a couple streams in a row, and you get Cookie Club entries out of it. Pretty straightforward. I can set that up now. I can do it. I can track the thing, but I can't. I don't know how to tell people and like alert people. Anyway, as I'm working through this chicken, it's getting better and easier to handle. So, yes, please, just one. Do you see them? Okay. Okay. So, Calvin is being a good helper here. I'm gonna toss these burrito situations in the oven. Just leave it over there. Thank you.
This here.
Anywhere. Yeah. If I know it's in the kitchen, at least it's not, you know, I don't have to go far to get it. Thank you. That was helpful. And I'd forgotten I wanted to do that. I meant to ask you to do that like right after you brought the recipe down. Callie, time check. It is 18:15. What time do you think would be good to eat? How long do you think you'll be? Whenever I'm ready? Because I know you just had some chips and you just had carrots. Like, I don't want to like. Okay, sometime between 7 and 7:30. Okay. Okay. Cool. We're in summer mode right now. Things are a little easier. Jamie, you wanted to share my new move? Oh, that one's cute. Is it saying something? Oh, there's no words popping off. I was like, are there words that I can't really see? I made a corn over the weekend. I do love corn. There's corn on the counter right here, like right in front of me too. So that's appropriate. What were you making emotes for? What was the motivation? I every once in a while I get in like a design phase and I just do a bunch of stuff. Wait, oh, my new emote. So, okay, sorry. I'm like, you said I'm sharing a new emote and then I made corn, and I interpreted that as you made a corn emote. Okay. Sorry. We're on the same page now. And then you were like, I love making flavored butter. And I was like, you made a butter remote too? In my brain, I was like not computing right away. Anyway, I got you now. Same page. I'm glad that you made corn over the weekend. That's amazing. Tis the season for corn. Oh no, I was the one that was confused in this situation. I'm like, I just read it in a way that my brain was like continuing to think of making in terms of like emotes, because I thought that you made the little emote from that you said this from a high train. So anyway, emote is cute. I'm glad you like the corn. Oh my god, here we go. Sabs. I know, right? It's sometimes my brain's just like, no, this is what they meant, and my gut is like, wait, Jamie makes emotes. Inaccurate. It's fine. We love that. Okay, we're good. All of this chicken has been pulled apart. And now I'm gonna cut some of this up and put it with the pasta salad. I'm just gonna do that with my wet, awful hands right now. Because I washed them before cutting this chicken up, and I got a knife, and we're just gonna keep moving with this chicken. I'm gonna use the chicken breast here because I prefer the thighs and wings, legs for other stuff. And I think for this, I'm just gonna use, like, I'm gonna cut this slightly and then kind of squish each of these pieces between my fingers, and that will be the meat for this. I'm probably just gonna use both of the chicken breasts in here, right? All the little elephants are hand drawn. That's super cute. Did you draw them, Sabs? That's awesome. Oh, I mean, regardless of whether or not you drew them, I love a hand drawn thing. Little things that are like done without like clip art or whatever. You did draw them. That's awesome. It makes it even better. I think something that's hand drawn and nice like that, even if it's maybe not as like completely polished, is so much nicer than sort of just grabbing something off of Canva. Which I did for some of the like channel point stuff. I recently designed all of the channel point art for this channel. Some of it is like, I made all of it in Canva. I didn't draw it, but some of it I don't know. I didn't use the clip art pieces. I did like, I tried to like manipulate it on my own. The emotes for this channel are also hand drawn, but I did not do them. They are all by one specific artist. I should have a shout out for that person, or I should have a URL, a link in some capacity that like links to their stuff. 9, welcome, hello. A chef hat and coat. That's cool. I love a theme too. A theme like that is really nice. And stick to kind of one thing. That's why I had one person just do a bunch of emotes for this channel, because I wanted it to be sort of not necessarily uniform, but a similar style. And I know that like if I was trying to draw them, I could draw them, but they would look like I drew them. I'm not much for artistry of that type. Okay, our bread is in the oven. Our chicken is out of the oven and plucked. I'm going to package the chicken, and then we will package it, and then we'll mix this in. I'm going to cut the pork loin after that, and we'll package that. Then we'll have like a cleared off counter for our pasta salad prep. So once the pasta salad is done, we should be relatively close to having the bread finished. And I said that I was going to do weeknight dinner tonight, but what we landed on was that we're going to do some breakfast tacos instead of cooking anything, which makes it a lot easier. Let's not put the popsicles on top of the warm chicken. That's a bad idea. Okay. This knife is finished. I'm going to go ahead and cut the pork loin on the same cutting board as the chicken. It's all cooked. I'm just going to wipe it off with a paper towel here. What I say? I had a question that I was about to ask, and then I was like, wait, no. If you're doing a reveal stream, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do the reveal right now. So let me not ask that question. What are you revealing? I'm just kidding. That's cool. I'm not as hardcore. Well, sometimes, yeah, I think, what's the shortest stream I've ever done? I feel like the shortest stream I've ever done is probably like 2 hours. Something like that. I used to do a lot of, I don't want to say short. I say short as if it's like, it's short to me now. But I think I think when I was the first 2 years of streaming, 2.5 years of streaming, like a 2.5 hour stream was like pretty typical, but I was also doing different stuff. It was like, okay, it's after work, time to make dinner. Like, and then we just do dinner for like 2.5 hours and that would be it. Now obviously I do things a little differently. I'm not streaming 3 to 4 nights a week. I'm just doing like 2 days, but more time. Anyway, Glumpy, it's okay. I streamed the actual making earlier. It's not a secret. Okay. Like, why is my mic muted? That was weird. I don't know why that happened. No. We have a kitten on stream. Who are you? Link. Okay. We have a kitten. Gwen's making Link food. Link is a triplet. Link doesn't want to eat wet food. Link only wants bottle and dry food. Link is hungry right now, and Gwen is making Link food. So here he is. He does not, but hold on. Scruff for just a second so I can get a better, there we go. Okay. He does not want to be held right now. This is an unhappy cat. He's pissed. What's all the stuff moving on screen? He's curious. And this is Link. Link is a triplet. There's 2 boys and a girl. There's Link and Ganon, and then Zelda. And he is the last one to really get into the solid foods.
Actually, that's Ganon.
No, Ganon, Gwen says Ganon is the last one to get into the solid foods. But this is a little Link. Here he is. Hold on. There's this. You want to look at, he's not going to look at the camera because he doesn't know what to look at. I'm trying to tilt him, but there we go. Baby. Gwen's holding his bottle behind the camera. Yeah, he's a babe. All the cats are all the little kittens are super fun. And they're getting along with Pluto and Saturn very well. They're getting along with the big cats very well. So we have a kitty. Caretaker, that's a pretty solid stream. I mean, that's like about the right amount of time to make dinner, right? Hour and a half. I know, bud. She's coming. He's trying to get back to Gwen. He's considering. Listen, maybe I'll rub my finger in the chicken grease and let you try some, huh? I didn't do that. I'm just petting him. Gwen just gave me a little look of like, please don't. Then they'll have diarrhea. We don't want that. No, but I've been tasked with holding a cat until his food is ready. So currently there are 8 cats in the house. 3 that are like a month old, of which this one is 1. Then we have 2 that are 2 months old, 3 months old. And then our 3 that live here full time, which are a year. Yes. But this is a kitten. He will be up for adoption in a couple weeks. Maybe 2, 3, possibly. He has to get up to a certain weight. Mm-hmm. They're like boxers. They have to hit a certain weight in order to compete in the adoption competition. But here he is. He's a sweetie. Hold on, we're gonna zoom in on you a little bit more. There we go. There we go. Okay. I'm wrapping him up pretty well because he is otherwise very interested in moving and jumping. I know. Oh, look at that. He looked directly at the camera. His little toe beans. I know. There's a little toe bean. So mad. So mad. So mad. Okay. For context, this is like the size of this cat. He's this big.
Take him back now.
You take him back now? Okay. All right. He's hungry. He wants. He's ready. I'm gonna wash my hands before I cut this pork loin. Yeah, they'll be up for adoption soon. Pluto and Saturn are getting spayed and neutered tomorrow. So they will be up for adoption end of the week, basically. Once they're like confirmed okay, having like received their surgery they'll be up for adoption at that point. So if you want to adopt some cats, hit me up in the DMs. And we're in Philadelphia, so caretaker, they do grow rapidly. Our cats are just over a year. They're a year and 2 months and are almost at their complete size, I think. Sanook, welcome in. Happy Monday. They're almost at their full size. So I think they are it is neat to watch them grow, for sure. Where's Elsie today? Elsie is probably in the basement with Gwen. Probably in the basement, I'm assuming. Probably just sitting on one of the various beds to be sat on down there. She spends a lot of time in the basement. The basement is the cat cave, though. That is where the cats go. It's their primary place of existence. So we have a pork loin here. This is our not for dinner tonight, but this was the pre-seasoned. I bought it just like it is. I plopped it on the pan and put it in the oven situation. So we're going to give this a try. I'm going to cut it rather, and then we'll give it a try. Because this is going to get packaged up. So let me also get like a container for this. Yeah, none of the cats have been around, Liz. Surprisingly enough, their sense of like meat has not really gone off, apparently. Which is fine with me. I don't mind that they're not hanging around. Why is it not for dinner? It's not for dinner. We're doing this I'm doing like a trip prep, right? And one of the things that I'm making for that dinner is Cuban sandwiches, which need pork tenderloin. So we're doing this for that purpose. So this is part of the trip prep. I went to try to get tenderloin like pre-cooked or pre-made from Reading Terminal, and they were like, they didn't have it anywhere. They had these, which I ended up purchasing, but they did not have the pre-made, or not pre-made. They didn't have anything for sale that was like this, just this. So I was like, I'll just buy one. That's fine. And I don't eat a lot of pork. I've never cooked a pork tenderloin before, which is why I was like, I'm gonna buy this like completely seasoned, like ready to go. But this looks good. I mean, it's cooked all the way. I know it's cooked all the way through. So I'm not particularly like worried about that, so to speak. Okay. But I want to try it now that it's gotten out of the oven, it's rested. I want to try a piece of it. I don't eat a lot of pork either. I don't remember the last time I had pork. No, that's not true. Pork sausage I probably have frequently enough. Mostly I buy turkey sausage, but occasionally we'll get pork. That was really good though. I mean, I can see why people eat this. It's delicious. Letting it rest was the right move too. Obviously. Liz, I just don't, I find that there's a couple things. Structurally, I think pork is always like, it like, if you don't cook it right, it's dry. I don't love pig. Like, I don't love eating this. I don't know. This is just like a judgmental thing, but the smarter animals, like, it bothers me to eat them. So there's that. I don't know. I just don't. I didn't grow up eating a lot of it. That's just kind of how it is. It translated into me not cooking a lot of it. And when I was a kid, we did like pork chops every so often, but not anything substantial. No octopus. No, I don't eat octopus. I definitely don't eat octopus. That's a not, yeah, for that same reason. I stick to chicken primarily. And it's a weird like reason. I feel like it is kind of a weird reason, but also like, I don't know. I just don't. I don't eat beef because beef, a lot of because that industry is a heavy contributor to like fossil fuel pollution. I think chickens are dumb. Yes, Liz, I would, the inverse of that is that, yeah, I do think chickens are not as bright. Y'all, I eat goldfish like crazy though. You should see it. It's wild. We just keep a big tank in the living room. I'm like a little snack, like pop one out. I'm just kidding. I don't actually do that. For the purposes of this conversation, that was a joke. But this is really good. I'm kind of happy with this. We're going to combine this with some ham. So, more pig. Swiss cheese, like the chunky stone ground mustard, dill pickles, and a soft like challah bread. I'm going to put that in a pie iron, which I had Calvin bring up, and I'll show it to you in just a moment. Okay, that was really good. I could be convinced to make that again. Now that I know. Also, I just went into the market and I was like, I bought a pre-seasoned marinated pork loin that was in a vacuum sealer, and I just put it on a tray and cooked it. Like I didn't do anything with that. So the level of effort to getting that versus the what I was looking for, which was like this. What I wanted was to just buy like a half a pound of pre-cooked like pork medallions essentially, and I couldn't find those anywhere. There's a couple places that sell sandwiches with pork in them, but they wouldn't sell me just the meat. They were like, you can buy a sandwich, and I was like, that's not what I want to do. I just want the meat. And they're like, we're not going to sell you like the meat that we put in our sandwiches, but it's not that. They're like, we don't even have a way to price that for you. And I was like, I could make up a price, like no problem. That's not a barrier for me. And they were like, no. So no, the answer was no. Lissy, welcome in. Hello. Nice to see you. I hope you had a lovely Monday so far. It's still Monday, and we're getting through it. We're getting through it together. I'm gonna rinse this chef knife off because I want to use it again to cut my vegetables. Yeah, Liz, I've never gotten the marinated one before. I was at the market and basically like I was at the butcher and they were like, they had the ones that were pre-rolled but not seasoned or anything. And I was like, oh, those look okay. I'll grab one of those. And then there was that one. There was only one, and it was right next to the thing. And I was like, you know what? That's even easier. And I was like, do you have this cooked? And they were like, no, this is a butcher. We don't know. And I was like, okay. I'll stop asking. Anyway, lesson learned. They don't do You can't get the pork loin cooked, apparently. You have to get it uncooked. Glad to be done with work. I believe you. It is Monday. At least Monday's over, right? What's that? That's a situation I think we can all get behind. Monday being over. Let's turn our attention to this pasta salad. I think we're there. Yeah, I think we're there. What else do I need to do? Hold on. Mango salsa, Matthew. I do love a mango salsa. Mango salsa is probably my favorite salsa. Scratch that. I kind of like corn salsa, but like corn and mango salsa, whew, sold. Absolutely sold. Okay, pork is cooked, chicken's cooked. Pasta salad, we need to cut the veg and assemble, and then take the banana bread out of the oven when it's time for that, which is about 38 minutes from now. Liz, what are we doing for the 4th? Well, we are putting burgers on the grill, and I got some sausages. I got some cheesesteak sausages, which are like sausages stuffed with cheese and caramelized onion and beef. They're beef sausages. So I got those plus some rolls. I got some potato salad and what else did I get? And corn. And we're gonna grill. We're gonna grill. And then in the evening, like basically as soon as it gets dark, are they beef burgers? Yeah, they're beef burgers. So this will be like a big beef day, which is weird, but you know, make it work. The neat thing is in South Philly, there's a bunch of like, basically everyone in South Philly lights fireworks up from their street, and if you go up on my roof, you can see that. You can see it, and it's really kind of neat. So you can also see. If you get all the way up on my roof, you can see the fireworks over the art museum. You can see the fireworks in South Philly. You can see the fireworks along the Delaware River. So we go up basically at like, we take our dinner up there and then eat, and then we'll sit up there and watch fireworks for like a while. Is it a private roof? Yeah, it's just the roof of the house. Yeah. We don't go up there really, like we don't go up there very often, but it's a nice for the 4th, it's worth like getting up and doing the thing. It is a great night. It's really fun. We've been doing that for years and years. And yeah, the animals are always crazy. What do the fireworks scare the cats? I don't actually know. Last year the cats were kind of too young to really care. It was the April, they were born in April, fireworks were in July, obviously. They didn't really care last year. I'm curious to see how they may react this year, but I don't think so. Because very honestly, people set off fireworks in the city all the time. It's not abnormal to hear like a loud boom outside of your house and be like, oh, our neighbor's just setting fireworks off in the street, like literally in the street. That happens, and I haven't seen them react, really. I haven't noticed anything. So, but yeah, fireworks aren't great. They're great for people. I remember one year we were up there, and my neighbor, like a couple houses down, was setting off fireworks from their roof, like with a mortar, like one of those, like, they were like big fireworks, like really loud ones. And I was like, y'all, you're gonna light your roof on fire. This is insane. Like, what are you doing up here? It was kind of wild. The golf courses near us are doing fireworks for Canada Day on Wednesday. Excellent. I love that. I remember when I was a kid and being in like a suburb area, going to like the big fireworks display at like the town high school, and that was always kind of fun. We could go to some different places in the city and do more like where they have fireworks and we could see them a little better. But honestly, I really love just being able to see like a whole bunch of different fireworks, like just popping off. And the ones that I say that are in South Philly, the ones along the Delaware and the ones along over the Art Museum are professional fireworks. Those are like big show, really high up, like all the fancy stuff. And this year is going to be absolutely bonkers because it's the 250th anniversary of the United States, and Philadelphia is where the Declaration of Independence was signed. So we're kind of, they're going all out. They're going all out. Would I ever consider streaming fireworks? I might. Yeah, Liz, I thought about it. And I think I would like to. My only reservation, and I don't necessarily have like big concerns about it. What I might do in that scenario is something like in Discord or something a little bit less public, because I think it would be fun, and I'm not like averse to it. Like, I'm definitely not averse to it. I think it would be great, and I've thought about it. But I worry about the like, hey, you can triangulate my exact address if I like go up on my roof and do and you can like see out from there. It's the same reason that I haven't done like a grilling stream, because I could do that because there's angles and ways that I could sort of like make it as vague as possible. For fireworks, I definitely couldn't do that. So I've thought about it. I would consider it. Matthew says, so that's a no. Yeah, I think it's a no for this moment because I just haven't really considered like the implications of that. Is it a hard no forever? No, it's not. I would like to. I think just the right format. Shawarma, hello. How do them legs feel this afternoon? Tatu, they feel good. They feel fine. I had a little bit earlier today where I was like, ooh, that's spicy. But we were over it, and right now I feel great because I've been moving, I'm standing, once I sit down for a little while and then sort of get rested, that doesn't feel so great. Then I'm like, oh, like I was sitting down earlier today for like, an hour straight, which I know y'all are like, oh, come on, Lou. But like, I don't really sit down for that long very often. It's very rare. I only sit down for more than an hour, like maybe once a day. I don't know. Most of the people who watch don't live anywhere close. No, that's true. That is true. I'm not particularly, I guess I'm not like super concerned about it, but it's one of those things where I'm like, if I'm like, hey, this is like out the front of my house, like you can see my neighbor's address, you know what I mean? Gets a plane ticket, right? And I'm not like hiding. I don't particularly hide like my identity, but I also don't I don't like throw it out there. Does that make sense? I'm not like, hey, this is me. But like, I don't know. You could, if you're an astute observer of the internet, it would not be difficult. Yeah, exactly, Liz. I'm like, better to just be cautious about it if I don't really need to do the thing. Caretaker, enjoy the rest of your day too. Happy Monday. Go Canada, indeed. Good rest of your week if I don't catch you. Thanks for saying hi. Thanks for hanging out and stopping through. Right now I'm just cutting up stuff for pasta salad. That's the scenario in this moment. We're gonna do a couple mixed vegetables here. I've got some carrots. I've got broccoli, florets. I'm gonna just kind of break these up a little bit. I have corn. I just dumped some like fresh corn in here. I didn't cook it. Nothing wild. So, who's gonna actually do anything dangerous? Lots of people, Matthew. There is a large precedent and history of that happening to any size streamer. I personally know other food and drink streamers who are friends of this stream and friends of this channel who have been doxxed and had the cops called to their house multiple times, who have, and I don't mean this, I'm not tooting my own horn on this, but who have less viewers than this channel has. Like, it's just fun. People just make a hobby and a fun little, they think it's like fun, I know I can tell you very directly that like my family, I've talked about it with both Gwen and Calvin. What happens if that happens? Like, what do you do? And we have an understanding of what that means. I'm not going to share that because like, it's like having an emergency escape plan in your house if there's a fire. It's the same thing. We have a known risk, right? I have also personally visited the police station that would be the ones responding if that happened to me. I've personally gone over there. I do it once a year, and I talk to them all about it. Matthew, I want to say that I don't need you gaslighting me right now into thinking that this is not an actual issue. I don't like the argument that you're trying to make, and I don't appreciate it. So you can listen and believe, or you can not contribute to this aspect of the conversation. And I want to invite you to listen and believe, or stop contributing to something that you're not aware of. So that's what I will say about that. And that's about as stern as I get. And then after that, after that, we do some timing out. Do I know about having a card on the door stating the number of pets? Yes. And we don't have that, Cyborg. I wish we did. I feel like we should. Can you, if there's a fire here, there is a literal basement full of cats. Please, please advise. But yeah, doxing's a real issue. And it really is a waste of resources for people to have to respond to. It's not a fun thing to have to deal with. And it's not a fun thing to have anxiety over anticipating every time you hit go live, which I do. You know, we've been on stream before and had I've been on stream before in an IRL stream where someone came up to me and was like, "Hey, I was just watching you live." And I'm like, "Oh, that's weird for me. That's a really weird thing for me to have to manage in this moment emotionally." I don't love that. Which is why one of the rules of the channel is like, hey, if I'm doing an IRL stream, like, please ask before you just come and say hi to me. But, you know, the people that do that haven't read any of those rules. So it's a thing. Where is my vegetable peeler? It's somewhere in here. I don't use it very often, so I don't know where it is. There it is. It's literally all the way in the back. 3 cats inside. Yeah, that's Cyber. I think we need that. We definitely need that. I don't have that. I've seen them. I mean, I see them all the time. It's definitely a thing, a real thing. Hard to update it every time. Yeah, it basically what I think of this. Our sticker would just be like, please go to the basement and get all of the cats you can grab. Like, everyone else is fine. Please go to the basement and get the cats. Right. Please save the menagerie. Yeah. Yeah. Drama. Yeah. Gwen is the cat fosterer. She's got right now we've got 2 that are getting spayed, one neutered tomorrow, and then they'll be ready to go. The other 3 will be be getting spayed and neutered like 2 weeks from now, and they'll be ready to go. It is, yeah. I think it's normal to be Matthew. I'm going to take that at face value and say it's normal to be prepared. Which I am, and we try to be. We try to be. Yeah, it's a real concern. It's a real concern. I think the other, I mean, yeah, a big part of that is like why I don't like start the IRL streams at my front door, you know? Pat, welcome in. It's a nice peeler. Yeah, that peeler is nice. The Y-shaped peelers are the best. I have a straight on peeler that I don't love. That I've had for a long time. Those are the ones I had growing up. I forget when I started using the Y-shaped peeler, but I was like, wait, this is so much better. Why aren't we doing this? Why aren't we doing this more? It's not really vintage. I mean, we have, they're still, I think to me, I see them more often now, now that I have one of my own and I'm like looking for them. Or I think I just noticed them more. Okay, let's take a time check on that banana bread real quick, because I am definitely smelling it, and it might be, starting to get ready. It's been 58 minutes. 58 minutes. Yeah, we're plump here, but it still needs some baking time. I can see some like liquid in there. If you're not paranoid about it, then why stream at all? Well, I'm not paranoid. I think I am not, I would describe it as not unaware. I'm not oblivious to the risk, and I'm prepared for the potential. So paranoid is not the word I would use. It's like, hey, you might get attacked by a bear. Why go hiking? Well, because it's fun. Yeah, but the bears. Right. Well, there's always going to be bears. Did you bring bear spray? Do you know how to deal with a bear when they arrive or approach you? Do you know what to do when you're in a group versus being alone? Like, yeah, you prepare yourself. So to me, it's the same thing. You know? When you're in a group, you run faster than the other person. That's how you deal with the bear. But I think to the point, it's just paranoid is not the word I would use. Prepared. I'm prepared. Vigilant maybe is a better word, a good word for that situation. So we're gonna we have carrot, broccoli, chicken, corn, shallots, and then what else? What are we doing? Liz says, what's for dinner tonight? Dinner tonight is going to be these breakfast wraps that I made for camping a little while ago. I'm going to pop those in the oven here in just a few minutes. I'm trying not to open the oven while the bread is in there, but I'm going to in a minute here. They've been out on the counter. So these, like literally these breakfast wraps, I'm just going to pop them in the oven. I made them on stream maybe like a month ago, before our last camping trip with some of Calvin's friends. These are just the ones that I didn't take on the trip. They've been in the freezer since then, and I was like, hey, what about having these for dinner? And he was like, okay. So that's what we're doing. It'll be pretty easy. I was thinking of just like egg sandwiches, but we don't have enough bread in the fridge to make egg sandwiches, so I had to pivot from that. I still ride the bus. Yeah. I mean, that example's an extreme one, but it tracks in the same way of like, yeah, things might happen on public transit. Things might happen on the subway, but like, what do you do if you feel like you're in danger in the subway? You take these 3 actions, and it mitigates 90% of that risk. I can't change what some stranger on the internet is going to do with regard to trying to find my address or trying to find any of that, trying to find personal information about me. I can't change any of that. What I can do is just be prepared in the event that someone does want to do that and finds that amusing for their own damn self. Joe, welcome in. Nice to see you. Hope you're having a good one. We're making some pasta salad right now. We're doing a little bit of prep for a camping trip. This is my friend's camping trip, so it's not this is not a like 7 5th graders all yelling at me camping trip. This is the like adults who I'm friends with and no children situation. So a little different than the usual trips, but the same, very similar menu. This time I was a little bit inspired by some conversations we've been having in chat around our like menus and meal planning and all that. We were talking about pie irons a bunch recently, and I decided that I wanted to do like an all pie iron dinner this time around. So I have basically 2 pressed style sandwiches that we're doing. One is a version of a Reuben. So I have rye bread, corned beef, Swiss cheese, sauerkraut, Thousand Island dressing, and on rye. I said that. And then the other one is a Cuban sandwich. So we're using a soft challah bread for that. Ham, pork tenderloin, which I made on stream today and packaged up already. Swiss cheese, mustard, pickles, and all of that is going to go into basically a sandwich press that you then put into the fire, and you cook it for like 60 seconds aside. It's really not complicated. The what else could go in this pasta salad? I think that's actually pretty good. I got hold on, where there they are. I knew they were around somewhere. I got grape tomatoes for this. So we're just gonna literally put these in here. I'm not cutting them because I think they're fine as they are. They don't need to be cut. And then the other thing I got for this is also an easy addition, these little mozzarella pearls. These are the Belgioso little ones versions. They're like the teeny tiny mozzarella pearls. These are my favorite for salads because they are, like I said, teeny tiny. And we're just gonna kind of squeeze those in. Those will get broken up as I stir this, and if they don't, I'll just hit them with a spoon separately. Okay, let me wash my hands and we'll stir this and incorporate. Then I'm gonna make a little like sauce for this. It's gonna be some sort of olive oil and vinegar. I usually put pesto in here, but this time around I'm not. The reason I'm not using pesto is I forgot to buy it. So I don't have it to use, so I don't have it to put in. So we're gonna buy it. We're not gonna buy it. I'm not going to make it either because I don't have anything to make pesto with. Time out. Do I have pesto in my cabinet? Do I have any type of sauce that would be good or any type of thing that would be good like this? No, I do not. Okay. So we're going to continue down the path that I'm working towards. Let me put these little breakfast wraps in the oven now. I'm going to open this up again. I'm going to, let me temp the bread and see if this is at a good spot yet. What do I need? I need a plastic knife for that. We're just gonna like push this in, and if this comes out with a bunch of raw batter on it, we know we're not ready yet. This has been in there for 65 minutes. The bread has. It looks really good. Appearance-wise, it looks great. Knife is coming out with some batter on it, so we're just gonna leave that. I'm going to continue to leave that in there and put these wraps in instead. So just a little bit of batter on here. It's still a little too raw for my taste. It's good. If I pulled it out, it would probably be okay. But I think I'd like to leave it for just a little longer than that. Okay. Let's mix these pearls in. I'm going to mix the tomatoes in, and then we'll make our dressing for this. And then, so that we might, for dinner tonight, we might have like a little bowl of this plus that, plus those wraps that I just popped into the oven. So those are, honestly, I forget what's in those. They're like breakfast things. So it's eggs. I think it's eggs, turkey bacon, eggs, turkey bacon, sweet potato, and something else. There's something else in there, but I don't remember what. It's very fortunate that I have my resource and reference for such things. Burgers, dogs. So these are from Friends Trip. Eggs, bacon, tortilla, sweet potato, and avocado, and cheese. So that's what's in these. Some combination. Actually, I don't think I put the avocado in here. I might have, I might not, but it has all the other stuff. It definitely has cheese in it. Okay, so this salad is good. Let's get I'm finished with my freezer bag. So I started another freezer scrap bag today because the last stream we made all of the stock. No, that was 2 streams ago. Several kitchen streams ago, we made all of our recent scraps into stock. So we're starting again with a new bag today, which is lovely. Love doing that. Okay, so sauce for this is going to be a combination of vinegar and oil. And then I think I'll probably put a little bit of like Dijon mustard in there. Oh, hold on. I have this. This was from, I forgot that I had this. This is bitter lemon vinegar, and this was really good. This should still be good. Let's, yeah, apple cider vinegar and bitter lemons. So this actually might be, oh, that's so good. Let me taste that and make sure. Because if this is still good, we're going to use this. we're gonna use a little bit of that. Oof, that hit the back of my eyeballs. Whoa, that is genuinely bitter. Okay, good, and a lot. Let's start with olive oil. So this is a pretty big salad, so we're gonna do I'm not doing this by weight. I should have done this by weight. That's okay. I didn't. Let's put this. I'm gonna do let's start with a half a cup of olive oil. Do half a cup of olive oil. We'll do a little bit of pistachio oil. So this is do a little less of that. Maybe we'll do a third. There we go. And then a splash of this bitter lemon. A splash of this white wine. This is white wine vinegar. Oh, that has a little limiter on there. I was like, why is it not coming in? And then stir that together. Add a little bit of salt to this. I want to add a little salt to my salad too, before I mix this in, because this has a lot of raw vegetables in it. The chicken was salted, and then I salted the pasta water for the orzo, but the broccoli, the tomatoes, the carrots, the corn are not. The cheese is. That's salty. We're gonna add a little salt to this as well. So I don't want the salt to only be coming from the dressing. Little pepper in the dressing too. Maybe a little more pepper than that. And then let's mix this first. And then we'll mix in, I'm going to try the dressing before I just go ahead and mix it in here. Probably going to want more oil in this. What is this going to need? Ooh, that is really, really good. I'm going to add a little bit more of the vinegars because that is really oily. And I might add a little bit of, I'm just going to add a little rice vinegar. I got it out, but I don't know if we're going to end up doing that. So this is about a cup. This is about a cup worth of liquid here, 8 ounces. This is about the same volume as a jar of pesto, like a store-bought jar of pesto. So I think we're going to start with this. We'll pour this in. Fellas, I watched it live too. I remember watching Hey It's Me Salty. If y'all are, I don't know I know that some of y'all are familiar. Some of y'all who've been on Twitch for a while are probably familiar with this person, but I was watching that stream where the dude walked through his kitchen with a machine gun, and I'm like, cool, that sucks. Like, that really sucks. And then I watched him finish stream, and I was like, that's also kind of cool. He was like one of the first food and drink streamers that I watched when I first started being aware of like Twitch food. In fact, he probably was the first one. Yeah, he was like, "Hey, you guys, like, nothing bad's happening here. Y'all want some food?" Like, and that's yeah. I mean, I feel like that's Kanara, Miss Ruby. I didn't see the Kanara or Miss Ruby one. I mean, I saw like the aftermath of it. Yeah, varying sizes. Exactly. That was sort of the thing. I mean, all of those folks are partners in this in the sense of like that sense, but like you know, I'm not like trying to toot my own horn, but it's like, hey, we're you know, roughly the same size as a lot of those streams I was watching when it happened. So that's how it is, you know. Yeah, Velas, I mean, I don't want to speak for Salty, but he seems to be okay. In the sense of like seeing someone parasocially, you know. I think I still see things from him on a regular basis, not on Twitch, and things seem to be okay. Fudge Darling, I'm honored to be your first food stream. There's lots of people out here who do food. Actually, there's not a lot of people out here. Lots is relative. I think it's the biggest world for me on Twitch because it's like mostly what I watch. You know what I mean? Yeah, Matthew, but I don't. That's I don't love that idea, and I don't think that that's a good solution to like swatting. It's not like that's not the appropriate reaction to swatting. Yeah, Liz, exactly. I think, you know, what happens is I see, you know, we see people like stream and then drop off, and then it's like, oh, I wonder what happened to them. It's like, well, they're living their life, you know what I mean? They're just doing things in life in general. I think it's interesting when people pop up. I've seen this like one or two times. Oh, you don't see Audrey. Audrey streams on Kick. Now, she does a lot on Kick. Similar it's the same stream. Audrey does, yeah, she does a lot more on Kick now. Yeah, Liz, I'm all right. I like have an account there. It's the same name. Like, not a surprise. But I just know, I know from like a financial perspective that Kick is better for a lot of people. And that's good. I have spent enough time as a viewer there to know that, like, I don't know. I've my experience has been a neutral one, which to me tells me I'm okay. I'm good doing what I'm doing. Twitch, YouTube, and YouTube is like, I feel like the folks that watch this stream on YouTube, it's a lot less chatty. It's more like visual. Like, hey, I'm just like watching the thing happen, you know. Whereas Twitch is very conversational. Can be very conversational. All right, so this pasta salad is looking pretty solid. Coffee, nice things. Yeah. Those are fun. But I mean, I think, Liz, part of that for me is that I didn't start there. If I'd have started there and put all my effort into that basket, it would probably be a little different, you know? I might have the opposite experience. But I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I know that there's plenty of people who stream exclusively to YouTube and have a good time about it. Yeah, Matthew, I do think that's true in some sense. I think it's true in some senses. I also think that in others, it's just like, it's a financial thing. It's a like, hey, I can get discovered here a lot easier because there's literally less people. I think that's a big part of it for some people. I don't begrudge anybody for streaming on the platform that they stream on. That's pretty good. But yeah, Kick has rules. They're changing around some things. I think ultimately it's still, you know, pick the platform you want to be on. Do you want to own do you want to be on the platform owned by a gambling company? Do you want to be on the platform owned by a billionaire? Multiple, you know, an evil fucking billionaire? Or do you want to be on the platform that is owned by the other evil billionaire? Like, pick one. Or do you want to not stream? You know what I mean? But I do think with the financial aspect of things, when you're offering people double the money to go somewhere, and, you know, like, hey, you can make twice as much money with the same viewership, I think it's an easy decision for some people. I think if that's your decision, like, again, I'm not trying to begrudge you about that either.
Also, more people on likely to,
I don't know that it's necessary. I don't know that that's necessarily true, Matthew. And I think the thing is, if that's true, then they don't have a sustainable platform. And if that is the angle, like the marketing angle that you're coming at to recruit new people to your platform, I think that's to me, that's a terrible errand. That's like a terrible approach, because like you're attracting a specific niche audience, a specific niche group of people that, you know, all have this similar, you know, if everybody's grinding their axe in the same direction, you know, you're going to have content that's the same, and you're going to have viewers that are the same. And that's not good. Like, the diversity is what you need. And if you end up marketing yourself to a very narrow group of people, and you approach it from the perspective of like, come here because we're not someone else, that's like, you need to differentiate yourself separately in a way that makes it that like you're the story, right? You don't want to make Twitch the story. You know, that is my perspective about it. Like, if all you're saying is we're not Twitch and we don't have our rules and finances are different, you're going to fail eventually. Like, because that's not a great selling point. You know, to me anyway. Obviously it's not to me. That's why we're here. TikTok Live. I'm unaware of TikTok Live. No offense. How do I feel about it? I don't. I have a TikTok account. I have like 10 followers on TikTok. I cross post the things that I post onto YouTube, and that is it. How do I feel about it? If I had the opportunity, you have to have a certain number of followers and like stats to get on TikTok Live. If I had those, I would just multi-stream there. I would literally just multi-stream there. That's all. That's how I feel about it. I'm ambivalent about it. Right now, it doesn't mean anything to me because I can't use it, so it's not really relevant. Orma, welcome in. Hello. Orma, that is 220 check-ins. That's a Cookie Club entry. Good to see you. 9, welcome back. Hello, welcome in. I hope things went well for your final like kitchening of the day. We're happy to have you. I'm literally about to pull out the banana bread from the oven, so y'all are just in time. This is not a giant bowl of salad. It is a giant bowl of salad. I said this is not. When I said salad, I was thinking like, I was thinking of like leafy greens salad. So, which this is not. This is a giant bowl of pasta salad, and I'm gonna try it and make sure this is like good. We're gonna do like our final taste test. I'm gonna get a little bit of everything in here, and then we're going to. All right. Lovely. Calvin, I don't know, okay? Like, I don't know. Let me finish the cooking stuff and then we will address that, okay? Friends who joined us, welcome in. It's nice to have you. Follows are silent, so if you're a lurker like myself, there's no alerts, there's no sounds, there's no like, I'm not going to say hi to you. You can hit the follow button if you like. This is a cooking stream. We do vegetable forward family meals most of the time. We also do prep, like meal prep and trip prep, which is what we're doing today. And we get out in the world for IRL stuff on occasion. We did that yesterday. My legs are a little tired, but we're good. Welcome in. It's nice to have you, friends who are hanging out here already. 9 of 12 is a fellow food and drink streamer and friend of the stream. Frequent friend in chat, and would certainly appreciate your follow. if you got one. They're free. Did I make the banana bread the same as last time? I did. Well, I followed the recipe that I was working on. So I made the recipe today. I finished writing it, and then I finished writing it, and now I am testing it. So here it comes. This is the banana bread. It's just out of the oven. I'll hold it up and show it to you in just a second. But let me get these breakfast wraps kind of rotated here. So these are going to be dinner in just a little bit here. Finish with this cutting board. Let's move this off to the side as well. This can go. This can go. And we're going to package up. While that banana bread cools for just a few moments, we're going to package up this pasta salad into a bunch of different containers. So this is our banana bread. So if you were like, hey, what do the bananas look like after you take them out of the oven? Here's what they look like. Here's your banana bread situation. They're a little bit caramelized. They have sugar on top of them, so they're a little dark. They're not burnt. That's burnt sugar on the top of them. But they really settled into the bread. The bread rose nicely, so you can see it's sort of like it's got a little loft to it. And this looks nice. I'm very happy with the way that the look of the way that this loaf turned out. And now we're gonna turn the oven off because it's hot in here. 9, you maybe want to visit Philly. That is a compliment, and I will take it. Thank you. I love that. I appreciate that if someone's watching on an IRL and they're like, "Oh, this looks nice." Like that's kind of the point. It's not the point necessarily, but it is a really nice outcome of that being out in the world. And for me, what I enjoy showing about Philly is that it's walkable, that it's beautiful, that the people are not throwing batteries at you, which is a thing that people say about Philly, which is not true. It could be true, but I don't know anyone specifically that carries batteries around with them to be prepared for that. This is how. Anyway, that's a weird segue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But yeah, Philly is nice. Philly's a nice little city. I'm very happy to live here. I'm happy with this scenario. There was a situation in one of the Eagles games back in the 80s where people at the stadium were unhappy with the way that the team was performing and threw batteries at like the Santa Claus that was like in the stadium. And that's where that comes from. It's not a regular thing. We don't do that regularly. And also, like, we don't do that anymore. We've changed. But that was a real thing. It really did happen. They're also in the basement of the old stadium where the Eagles used to play was a jail and a judge. And if you acted up during games, they would literally like throw you in the jail in the basement of the stadium and then like sentence you to something. Like a literal judge was there. So that was fun. Jamie says, what's in the salad? The salad has chicken. It's orzo, chicken, mozzarella pearls, broccoli, carrot, grape tomato, corn, raw corn, fresh corn, shallot, and then the dressing is olive oil, bitter lemon vinegar, and pistachio, olive oil, pistachio oil, bitter lemon vinegar, and a little bit of rice vinegar, and white wine vinegar. So salt, obviously salt and pepper. As well. So I'm portioning out basically this is like a lunch portion. So I'm putting I'm just scooping this into pint containers. And instead of having like one big container of this, like everyone can just have their own little container. Let's pull it out of the cooler. The other thing with portioning it like this is that if we choose to like go on a hike or do something like that, I don't need to. It doesn't need to be repackaged. You just take it and put it in your backpack. Make sure you bring a fork or eat it with your hands. I don't really care. Or a spoon or whatever. Bring a utensil. Eat it that way. It is good. Hopefully it's pretty good. I mean, I think it's pretty good. I was enjoying it while I was eating it. The dressing also has a little bit of Dijon mustard in it as an emulsifier. Not really a lot and not really enough to necessarily remark on, but it's there. It's there, and if you're allergic to mustard, you'd sure notice it. Packaging these. So these are the individual ones that I'm going to take with me. And then the rest of what's in there, I'm going to put into a big container. And then that can be used for either Calvin's lunch or snacks or whatever. I'll eat it over the weekend if no one else eats it, because I like it. So I don't really care about that either. Let me get my big container. Here's a big... I wonder if this will all fit in here. Yeah, I think this will just about fit. So let's get the rest of this into here. And I may see if we want a little bit of this, just like a little teeny bowl for dinner tonight as well, while it's still like super fresh. But we're going to have these breakfast wraps for dinner regardless. So that's the move. Put that in the sink. And then this is the rest of this. Scrape out and put in here. Like most of my camping pasta salads, this one is just made up. There's no measurements or volume. I mean, if we wanted to, like, if you wanted me to give you a specific like amount of things, I use like one package of everything. 20 ounces of orzo, a head of broccoli, one US dry pint of grape tomatoes, 2 ears of corn, 2 large carrots, 1 shallot. Easy, right? Like, not complicated. I really detest recipes that don't use all of something. That annoys me so much when it's just like, when you're like, I'm gonna use like half of a container of something. You buy like a small jar of something and it uses half of it. I'm like, just use, I don't know, double it. Just double it. Make double, and that way you're not, I don't have like half a jar of something sitting in my refrigerator. That I find frustrating. I don't think I'm the only one who finds that type of thing frustrating, but certainly I find it particularly frustrating from as someone who like also writes recipes. I'm like, why can't we just use all of this? Like, I'm annoyed at myself today because I used a half a container of Greek yogurt, and I know why I did that, because I was following what I did last time, and last time I had leftover Greek yogurt, which is why I only used that much of it. So I'm going to see how this bread turned out, and then if it turned out pretty well, I'm going to sort of switch approaches and, you know, make it so that I can just use the whole container of the thing, right? My husband's so bad at picking out the right container. Jamie says he overestimates big time, and I'm like, was that necessary? We only have so much fridge space. Yeah, exactly. It's like when you accidentally order a 25-pound bag of flour from Costco instead of like the 5-pound bag. Or basically it's like anytime you order something from Costco, it's like, oh shit, that was way too much. I didn't realize how bad this was going to be. Should we triple it if it calls for 1/3 of a container? Yeah, basically. For me, I would just prefer that you use the whole container in a recipe. And when I read a recipe, I'm like, especially if it's something like there's other options, there's like a couple different recipes I'm evaluating, the one that uses a whole amount of something is probably the one I'm going to go with. I like that a lot more. That's just my personal preference because I don't make things like twice in a row quickly enough to use up an ingredient that is like a one dish usage. You know, like I'm thinking I like miso is something where like you only use a little bit of that in a dish, but I've made multiple cookie clubs in a row with miso. So like I'm using it up and I'm using it in other things now. Like it's not going bad, but like there's certain things that if you don't know how to use them or you don't cook regularly, you're like, oh, I needed like a tablespoon of capers. Okay, well, there's 4 tablespoons of capers in the container. Like, have you ever used them before? No. So, are you likely to use the rest of that container? No. Should you just figure out what to put them in? Yeah, absolutely. Just dump them in anything. It's going to be fine. Put them in your tuna salad. They'll be delicious, I promise you. Okay, let's get this bread out of this and give it a try. James says he's bad at everything in the kitchen, which is valid. That's some people just love it in the kitchen and others don't. Cyrus says, what recipe uses a whole jar of capers? None. This is true. This is true. Probably not the best example if I'm being self-aware. None. A whole jar of capers is too much for basically anything. Point taken. Point taken. All right, this is the banana bread as it is currently. Let's cut a little bit of this. I'm gonna let this sit for a little while longer to cool down to like room temp before I cut the rest of it, but I want to see what this looks like inside now. So this is, whoa, hold on. Something is weird. Uh-oh. Hold on. Phoenix, hello. My camera is not doing the zoom that I want it to, which is like an indicator that my computer is like chugging along. Hold on. Okay. Let's see. Let's change which camera is the operator. I want to zoom in on this and show you the inside of it, but the thing is not working. That's suspicious. Oh, camera hub crashed. Alley cat. You're right. You're literally right. I think that's like what happened. I'm pretty sure. I did unplug something. And now it's not launching. Oh, weird. Oh, that's odd. Okay, well maybe we won't zoom in. Camera hub. Well, it says that it is working. Let's restart. Do I want to restart it? Yup. 3, 2, 1. Restarting. I bet you this camera makes. Let's try it. Okay, that should work now. Hey, look at that. Alley Cat, thank you for reminding me that happened because I literally forgot. And I was like, why is this not working? There's the inside of this bread. Phoenix, hello. I think I said hi. Take another picture with your click, 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 click camera. This is a banana bread. Inside of it looks really good. Big chunks of banana. We got pecans. We got chocolate. We got blueberries in here. We got coconut. Little banana on top. That is moist. That is great. even 80 minutes, that was, this is still nice. I think this could go for 70. I love it. That was excellent. Very happy. Very happy with the outcome of that. And what we'll do, I'm going to let this sit on the counter and cool for a little while longer. And then once it's at room temperature, I'm going to slice it into big, thick slices and package those separately. Okay. I feel good. Feeling good. We made the things that we wanted to make. We did not do a couple of the things that I thought I would do, but we're not going to. I don't need to cut the loaves of bread today. We'll do that while we're camping. I don't need to portion out coffee right now. I'll just take it with me and then bring it back. Gluten, wheat, and dairy free. It sucks, but I am learning. Sounds like it. I mean, it sounds like you have to learn sort of like how to cook again, or how to eat again. Not how to eat, how to cook again. Because like if you're working on like a bunch of new stuff, I feel like that sounds challenging. It sounds really challenging, honestly. Are you? I know it's sort of like by necessity, but are you? Maybe not. Maybe enjoying is not the right word. Are you finding it rewarding to learn some like new skills and new stuff and like new recipes, new approaches, that kind of thing? Or is it just challenging? Or is it just like I don't know. Is it exhausting or rewarding? Let's see. We are working toward finding a place to go today. There's a few folks who are online. I'm looking at a couple places here. Oh, you know where I want to look? I want to look in this place to find. Let me see. Oh, you know who is live? Who we're gonna raid? We're gonna raid Quilpy today. I appreciate Quilpy's channel. She is just live like 10 minutes ago, something like that. And we're gonna go over there because I don't think we've raided her necessarily. Maybe once, maybe have we before? I don't recall. Anyway, Quilpy is what is Quilpy up to today on stream? What is Quilpy doing? She is dressed as Brad, a character that she does. Brad and Eve, drag royalty. It's a good vibe. I really like Quilpy's channel, and I am very excited to actually get to like drop some friends off there. So we're gonna do that today. I remembered to look in my own our own Discord with the community live channel, which is like folks who hang out on the stream, and also stream. When I get it right, it's amazing to find new safe thing, but mostly exhausting. I believe you. I think there's like, it sounds like highs and lows, Alley Cat. It sounds like maybe I don't want to have to do this thing, but it's like nice when you find the thing that you like. I can understand that. Trauma, I hope not. I think we may be live again on Friday of this week. I may be live again this coming weekend. Obviously maybe not obviously, but I'm going to be out of the city for a few days starting tomorrow. So I don't anticipate streaming on the normal schedule. My hat bobbing around in the corner. Yes, let's change it to this because we don't need to see the overhead anymore. It catches my eye too, Nine, when I'm like Every once in a while I'll like look up and be like, oh, what is that? I may be live sometime this weekend. I'm not positive. If I'm going to be going live, I will post that and share that in Discord. Otherwise, I'm going to try to keep this like the schedule updated. It's been tough this year with this summer with our with summer kind of kicking in and the schedule thoroughly and completely changing, like when I'm home and have time to do setup and stream and stuff like that. So thank you all for bearing with me during the summer. My goal in the next week is to set a summer schedule, and not specifically a like here's I'm going to be live every Tuesday on this day, but my goal is to go through and then kind of identify these are the days that I know that I'm going to like peg for stream during the summer. That this is a day I'm working toward. I'm going to commit to doing it on that day, and then I will make sure that those are posted live on the calendar and in Discord. So anyway, we're going to raid Quilpy today, who is live on a very regular basis. I'm going to start that raid. Here are some goodbye sounds.
Adieu to you and
Here
you and you.
are some raid messages in chat. Trauma, that sounds intense. I hope things are okay for you. Here are some social media links in chat as well. If you're live or you're watching on YouTube, thank you for hanging out today. I appreciate you. We'll be live again at some point soon.
Goodbye.
Okay.